Okay. Listen, you know what? I don't know how this live's going to go. I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know what direction it's going to go. It's not scripted. It's not any of those things. It's live. And you know, when things are live, you know it goes any old kind of way. But anyway, so years have passed, and finally I went ahead and I did it. I ripped the band-aid off and I did it. I went on my first cruise. So let's talk about it, shall we? What's going on, you guys? Hey, listen, happy Juneteenth to everybody. Yes, the 19th was yesterday, but it's all weekend situation around these parts. So, like I said, happy Juneteenth. I hope you all are out there having good times and safe good times and enjoying yourselves. And I had posted earlier, put your fist in the air, throw your head back, take in some of the creator's air, and exhale and smile and keep it right on moving. Happy Juneteenth, you guys. Okay, so listen, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this cruise, the cruise. I've posted some different things. What's going on, aesthetics guru? Hey, Sassafras. Um, I've posted some stuff. I have Incredible Hulk. What's going on? I posted some things, but I have not came and literally sat with you all to actually talk to you all about my cruise experience. So finally today I just said, okay, I guess it's time to go sit down and chit chat. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, the what made me nervous, what my takeaways were, and in no particular order. Now, let's see. Like I said, this is live. So where should we actually start? Some things I think y'all already know. Those of you who don't know me personally, and this is your first time here, just trust the process and just roll. Just roll with me. It'll make sense. By the time we get to the end, it'll make sense. I promise it'll make sense. I'm a fierce old storyteller, so trust me, it'll make sense. What's up, Natalia? Okay, so let's go to the very beginning. Let's go to the very beginning. Okay, so I've been a content creator for quite some time. Quite some time. I've actually been a content creator and paying attention to what I'm doing and being very intentional since 2014. Okay, 2014. Started off doing show reviews and it just branched off into all other kind of stuff. So that's that. Everybody knows that I was definitely afraid of the ocean itself. Like, just I couldn't fathom being on a ship and not being able to see land. So for years, I have turned down cruises. I've done t-shirts and things for families who were actually going where that's the same thing. Y'all know I sew and stuff. There's tons of times where I'll do stuff for weddings and you're always invited to the wedding. The same thing goes for the cruises. Generally, when you do stuff for families like that, they will invite you. They'll invite you to come along. And that's happened to me many, many times. And that is a big part of the story. There is a lady who really, really pushed two people, but a lady. What's up, Kwani? There is my brother Chet. You all know my brother Chet. My brother Chet is a very well-versed traveler. Chet has been some of everywhere. Trust me when I tell you, he's been to Paris. He's been some of everywhere. Okay, so very well traveled. He knows everything there is about booking travel, hotels, trains, planes, automobile, all of that, all of that. So I am no stranger to people who travel. I'm not. He's always done it. That's what he does. But who really kicked a lot of this off was T. Trisha. And some of you know her from being around T. Trisha. T. Trisha, I said, no, T. Trisha, I don't, she's a force to be reckoned with. Okay. She's quiet, but she is powerful. I didn't want to do, when I did t-shirts, I said, I make t-shirts, but I don't want to do special orders. I can't stay. Like, the truth of the matter, I don't like doing weddings. I don't like sewing for weddings. I can't stand to do 20 of the same thing. I just don't like it. So bridesmaids, when the bride comes, cool. When them bridesmaids come rolling through, I'll be like, ugh, not 9, 10 of y'all with the same dress, maybe different colors. But T. Trisha is the one that said, listen, I need this for my family. And you just got to know about T. Trisha. T. Trisha is a huge supporter of mine. She has been with me for years and years and years. And sometimes in life, at these big ages, you understand that you don't always get to do what you want to do. Sometimes you may not want to do something, but just out of loyalty, and it's a big thing, out of loyalty, you might jump over and do something that you really don't want to do. T. Trisha started all that mess with these t-shirts and me doing t-shirts for folks because I just didn't want to do it. Now, I picks and chooses who I want to do it for, but when Trisha hits one of these and say, I need this for my family, there is no question. The question was dropped. So that was that. And then T. Trisha pushed the issue. Now, we've been rolling with this for years. You need to come on. The family says, come on. The family loves the shirts. And I get all kind of messages from her family members. The family says, you need to come on and be on the ship with us. Every year, I'm like, no, T. Trisha. And the church, I don't know where this family keeps getting bigger and bigger, but the shirt orders keep getting bigger and bigger. But I have done them. And I'm like, no, T, I'm scared. I ain't messing with it. Chet goes on 1 or 2 cruises every year. He's always somewhere playing in the water for some reason. All different types of things. And come on. Bruh. I spend his birthday with him every year. I shut everything down here, and y'all will see me. I'll be down in DC, Maryland, Virginia, 8, 9, 10 days, getting it. Yeah, baby, getting it for Chet's birthday. Chet said, okay, well, I'm going on the cruise. I said, baby, I'll see you when you get back. He thought that would get me too. I was like, nope. And y'all know I love the ground Chet walks on. But for whatever reason, I kept saying, scared. I ain't doing it. T. Trisha kept pushing. And then I said, okay. And then one day I just made a decision. So here we go. Now let's fast forward up into 2025. So my folks on YouTube, James, when are you going to do another meet and greet? When are you going to do another meet and greet? Like what's up? We ain't did nothing in a while. COVID then came and went. We've been locked up in the house and all these different things. And when are we going to do something? And I said, okay, it's time. I'm settled. My life is good. Things are going, y'all know I talked about it. My mom, that's why I said, go live, go do something, get up, get out and do something. As part of it, I'll hit it a little bit on there, but conquering fears, that all rolled in together. And then the people, you all. So between y'all and T. Trisha and Chet and his mess and all of this, I said, hey, I got an idea. Ding, 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 ding. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a meet and greet. Then I said, what you going to do? Because I've done meet and greets everywhere except for my hometown. My hometown is not exciting like that. It's not. And that's just honest. I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I live in the Steel City. Now, what we are about is making that money. We about making money. We about family and that kind of thing. That's Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is solid. It's solid, but in the midst of being solid, it's not a party town. So my whole adult life, what do? When we say, oh, we're ready to go party, we be getting the hell on up out of here. That's the first thing. Where are we going? You don't even, where are we going? And especially if it has to do with the LGBTQ. We are out of here. We're out of here. Yes, there is a presence of the LGBTQIA and all of that, but oh, I guess you noticed. You noticed this lovely Teflon that my grandmother gave me, right? The presence of this in the LGBTQIA. Where are we going? Ohio, DC, where are we going? But we're leaving here, okay? So that has always been the thing. One time I was going to do a meet and greet here in Pittsburgh, and I pulled it. Hey, Powerful. I pulled it because they had just did this roller coaster here in Pittsburgh that is themed around the Steelers. Now, one thing that we do have that everybody loves for the most part is the Steelers. The Steelers, we get bragging rights still to this day, our football team. They did this here roller coaster. I said, that's it. I'm going to do a 3-day situation. I'm going to bring folks in. We just got our casino. We got this roller coaster situation. I said, boom, I got it. I'll put everybody in a hotel. I'll do an event myself over at the hotel in the ballroom. Then I'll charter a bus, put everybody on the bus, take them to the amusement park on that Saturday, and we do that. Boom, come back. I'll bring them back to the hotel. And I had it all thought out, and that's one of my things. I had to make sure my people were good. Had it all thought out. And guess what happened? The roller coaster was a goddamn dud. It was closed for the whole season. So that was that. I was like, yeah, the hotel's here. We got tons of those. And the casino's here. Our casino's cool, but it ain't Vegas, So I just kind of was like, I don't know about the whole thing about Pittsburgh. Now, people will come to Pittsburgh to see me, but no, I want to be excited. I need something. So there we go. Here comes the idea. I said, now I done been to Vegas. I've been to Vegas. I've actually hosted you all for meet and greets in Vegas 2 different times. Okay. So I did the SLVS in 2016. That was with a partner, me and a partner. We did SLVS, where we did a whole 3-day situation with the party bus, and we did the party bus, met at the Bellagio, excitement. And then we had a whole cabaret for you all right there in Vegas. Great fun. Went off really, really well. Then went back to Vegas again and actually did some stuff that we were working on, and we did a meet and greet there in Vegas again. And that was like a year or 2 later. So that was cool. It was like, okay. So we've been to Vegas twice, me and my people. Then y'all met up with me 2 times in the DMV. Baby, when I tell you the DMV don't owe me nothing. I love the DMV. Okay, and everybody knows DMV is DC, Maryland, Virginia. That area don't owe me a thing. You understand? Always a party, always a good time. My people came out, and I had 2 wonderful meet and greets there in the DMV. Now, if I done took y'all to Vegas, I done took y'all to the DMV, and I'm from little old Pittsburgh, I didn't feel like it was enough. I love my city. I do. I love my city. And I promise you, I could entertain you here. But no, I want to be excited too, because I'm here all the time. I want to be excited too. What am I going to do? And then it hit me. I said, go on and conquer this fear, because I don't like that. I'm not no punk. Not that kind. I'm not no punk. I don't like living in fear. So it's the same thing as when it was with planes. I didn't want to fly. I refused to fly. Chet's the one that was like, okay, here we go. And I've told this story before too. Chet put a plane ticket at the airport and said, that's it. He moved out of Pittsburgh to Philly. Trying to say easy flight. But I was like, mm-mm. He put a plane ticket there and said, what you going to do? You going to waste my money or you going to get on the plane? And I told you, I can't whoop him. So I said, I definitely ain't going to waste his money. So I got on the plane and been flying ever since. So I said, well, this just ain't going to be no different. And then I got T. Trisha. So I said, that's it. This makes sense. I'm going to face my fear. And going on a cruise, that's going to be fabulous. That's going to be entertaining. It's going to work. And then my wheels is spinning. And I said, okay, so it is what it is. And then my whole life is about this, what we're doing right here. This is a big part of my life. What I do here is I click this button, I go live, and I give y'all the best of me and the worst of me. And I ain't never scared. I ain't never scared. I come out here at my best and at my worst. Now, looks wise, I don't mess around. I'm always camera ready. I don't play them games. So I'm always on camera, willing to be on camera, that whole thing. Not that, but I say things out of my mouth that, you know, could rub some the wrong way. That's the thing about live. It's exciting. You don't know what I'm going to say because I don't know what the hell I'm going to say. That's what it's given. So that fueled me. I said, you know what? I'm getting ready to go and face this fear, and this is going to be epic. Because if I crash out, who the hell cares? Some will love it. Others will be concerned. But all in all, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. It'll be what it's going to be. And here's the thing. If it's on a cruise, even if I am a mess and I can't thoroughly entertain the way that I want to entertain, there's enough stuff to keep my people entertained where they won't have wasted their money and everything will be okay. So other than kind of worrying about me, they could still have a good time. So again, you always have your people, because I do move in integrity, always have your people in mind. My people are going to be okay. So I said, all right, so that's it. We're going to do Vegas, DMV, boom, we're going on the water. So I called T. Trisha, and she was like, are you kidding? Are you serious? You going to do this? I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So then I began studying. I started studying. There's 9 million cruise lines. Who am I going to do it with? And I went and I studied. And then I broke it down to 2. And it was MSC or Virgin. Virgin just spoke to me. It spoke to who I am. It was so extra. I said, okay, but it was a hard choice. It was really a hard choice. I promise you it was a hard choice because I said, this might be a one shot. This might be a one shot because I may really crash out and this might not be, you know, that's it. So I got to make sure that I'm on the best possible one for me if this is going to be my one time. So I said, okay. I said, all right. And I came down and I said, hey, I'm getting ready to face this fear. Who wants to go? And y'all didn't disappoint. Y'all said, shit, I'll go. I promise you, the day I announced it, by the time I got off the live, I dropped the link. I had a meeting. I had a business meeting that same day. By the time I was halfway through that business meeting, 3 people were booked and paid. Now, the whole thing was I was ready to go. Y'all had kind of said, push the date out. Do a late date. Do a later date. I put everything up. I did the date. And I pushed it out to, I said, let's go Mother's Day. Let's do Mother's Day 2026. That'll give everybody ample time. By the time I got halfway through that meeting, 3 people had paid and was ready to go. I said, okay, so that's it. And then I just continued on. And that's how all of that actually came up. And so I was cool. I was cool. Lynette and Stanley. Lynette and Stanley, you all know them as Life with Us TV. They are very good friends. About their family to me. I met them long time ago over here on YouTube. They used to do show reviews as well, but then they ended up, life did what life does, and they pivoted, and now they are all things travel and all that. So it was natural for, if I got questions, I could contact Lynette and Stanley. When I tell you, Lynette and Stanley are like a black ass ace of spade in my pocket. And Lynette was like, what you doing? What you doing, brother? I got you. I got you. I said, okay. So I stacked my deck. My deck was stacked. I'm like, the business of travel is going to be okay. In the midst of it, didn't realize I was going to end up doing it, but I ended up walking right into a travel business. So it became even more. I wasn't looking for anyone anymore. I was looking for somebody to book my trip. And I ended up walking into a business where I was able to book it myself. My mentor over on that side, one of the baddest to ever do it. And she is all things cruising. She loves cruising. So now I got Lynette and Stanley. And I also got MP. That's her name. Her name is MP. I got MP and I got Lynette and Stanley. Okay, so that's that. The business of travel is going to be fine. Cool. Don't worry about it. Say a couple prayers, and that's what he does. He literally will put the people right in front. And that's a whole nother story. I ain't ready to go into all of that. But when I tell you that I didn't have to spend none of that $5, $6 gas at all. I picked this up for Lynette and Stanley, and the travel business itself walked right in my face and was like, hey, you know, I've always wanted to talk to you. And I was like, about what? And they start talking, and I said, what? My wheels start spinning. And that was that. So boom, we ready to go. The business of travel is taken care of. Now I just got to make sure my people good, and I'm gonna be good. I got so busy getting things together that I really didn't focus on my fear anymore. I said, I'll get to it. Yeah, hell, I got almost a year. I'll get to it. So we went on. Let's fast forward. So I get everything all together and all of that. Well, here's the first curveball. January rolls around. January 2026 rolls around. I'm excited. I've been talking about I'm going on this cruise. People steadily booking. Oh, they steadily booking. I'm like, oh my God, okay. I'm like, the people showing up. It's cool. It's cool. I'm like, all right. So that's that. Then you know you got your dates, and you got to be paid by this date. Some people fell out. Life happens. So you're like, okay, cool, no problem. Again, because really, trip's really about me. So I'll tell you that if nobody had ever said they wanted to go, I would have actually been good with that, because it really was like a spiritual journey thing with me. So my people saying they want to come, that was just an extra added bonus. So I didn't have I got to have 5 people. Oh, I got to have I didn't have any of that. I didn't have any of that on top of me, because I'm like, it'll be fine if there's nobody there but just me. It'll be cool because I'm doing this. But I knew it. I know my people. Okay. So I said, okay. So even when I looked and there was people bookings that fell out, and I was like, okay, to be expected, not a problem. All of that came along with learning the business of travel. Okay. So that was that. So I'm excited. I'm excited about the business. I'm excited about the business venture. I'm excited about all the things I'm learning again. And then I got Chet. Like I said, I got MP and I got Lynette and Stanley. Okay. And then I got Chet. He's just a wealth of information, right? So I'm like, okay, first curveball. Chet hits me up in January. Hey, I got some things going on and this, that, and the other, and I'm not going to be able to go. Say what? Say what now? I said, okay. So now, major stuff. Generally, when I'm moving around, he always there. He always there. Times that I've stayed in hotels he's always there. This is kind of what he does. I literally jump off for a second. I said, I'm going to do my shit. I have this bucket list. Lettucey, the singer Lettucey. Y'all know I love her. She never comes to Pittsburgh, right? She didn't used to. Never come to Pittsburgh. I said, I'm going to see Lettucey. I said, I don't care. She on my bucket list. The first time she gets close, I'm going, and I don't give a damn where it is. Boom, she's coming to Cleveland. Cleveland ain't far. Cleveland 3 hours from here. 2.5, 3 hours in the car. But I said, it's cool. No problem. I'm going down here. I'll get me this little hotel, and I'm going down here to Cleveland. I'm going to see Lettucey. So I get everything all booked up. I call Chet. Is she going to be at the House of Blues? I said, yes, BBK, here I come. House of Blues and Lettucey. I'm on my way. Then this is just showing y'all who Chet is as a person. I keep telling him, ain't nobody paying me no attention but you. Okay? There ain't nobody think about me, boy, but you. He was like, okay. Okay. So I get on the phone. I tell him, he's like, eh. And he's like, all right. He said, well, something's going on. Let me call you back. I said, okay. This boy called me back in about 25 minutes. Because I done texted him, look at my, there got my ticket. There's my seat. There's where I'm sitting, blah, 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 blah. Go on like we did. 25 minutes. This boy done called me back. He gonna say, okay. So let me tell you what we're getting ready to do. Well, I'm going to drive on down there to Pittsburgh, and then we'll go ahead. I said, wait a minute. This ninja done hijacked my whole trip to Cleveland. He done went in the thing, got himself a ticket sitting right next to me. That is my brother. That's how my brother functions, okay? So that was that. First time I went to Vegas for the first time in 2016, in April of 2016. And it was with a group of people I met off of YouTube. And he was all for it because he was going. Okay, he jumped right in. He ain't even on YouTube. He jumped in, was like, okay, I'm going too. And that was that. And then some stuff happened and he wasn't able to go. And I ended up going, myself. And I literally, in the truth of the matter, and you always hear about Vegas Gate, this, that, and the other, I almost pulled out. Because I was like, I don't really know these people. I don't know these people. And, I just had some feelings and, my third eye is always working. And I was like, I had the muscle was there. Ain't no big deal. I wasn't scared of them or anything like that. But it just was like, I don't know them, and it just, it was like, whatever. I done paid twice because I paid for him and I paid for me. And I'm like, child, don't worry about it. Keep all the money. I ain't going. So one of the other people who was actually doing the thing, he even got in and was like, well, what's going on? He called over and talked to my brother. My brother's like, he's fine. I don't know why he said he don't want to go. But if he said he don't want to go, he don't want to go. And that was that. But he hit me. He's like, well, what's the problem? Child, go on. You're fine. Go on. And I went. And it was fine. It was fine. I had a good time in Vegas. But this is just who he is. Okay, so I told you all that to get to this. So January, he say he ain't gonna be able to go. I said, wait a minute now. Now this is a little different now. But I came back out now. No, baby, people done spent their money. And Virgin Voyages is not cheap. Okay, so we talking upwards $2,000 and up. Okay, $2,000 and up. Don't get it twisted. When I tell you, my sailors and travelers, don't get it twisted. Ain't nobody on this trip skimped, scrimped, or pimped. They spent their money. I had two rock stars. And if you've ever traveled Virgin Voyages, you know what a rock star is. That is top of the line on that fleet. And it comes with a quite a hefty price tag. Quite. For the price that they paid, they could have took 3-4 other people with them. Seriously. So people really had put their money out, and I could see it. I know what people spend. And I was like, you ain't got no choice. You get your ass and keep on getting these clothes together. You're going. It don't matter what Chet's doing. You daggone right, baby. Black wristbands. And that's how you can tell them. You see black wristbands? Baby, listen. And I'm going to tell y'all, Treasurer Lane, because people are on here from Spiller Boy TV as well as on Treasurer Lane. Treasurer Lane is housing a lot of my other things that I've actually posted from the trip. And I actually do have a walkthrough that I did on one of the Rockstar suites. Baby, this suite is nothing nice. Do you understand me? It's nothing. Baby, I said, wait a minute. We on the bus. This shit got area rugs and record players. Because if you know Virgin, it has to do with the actual record company. If you remember the record company Virgin, all the same thing. All the same umbrella. So yeah, that's why it is like the party ship, because it was a record company and all of that. Y'all know how I love music. So this is why Virgin won with me. I studied it and I was like, it sang to me and it was like, okay, everybody knows there's an all white night on a cruise and you go eat with the captain and all. Now I like wearing all white. Because if we're gonna go back to this Teflon I got, baby, this is the shit in all white, okay? But I don't really care about eating with the captain. But now I like the all white thing. But Virgin flips it on its side and they just go ship wide. The whole thing, turn the ship red. Everything's red. Well, what? Red? Baby, don't threaten me with a good time. So when I said there were so many things about Virgin that just drew me in and said, it was calling to me and said, hey, bitch, we over here. And I told you I was struggling with MSC because MSC got Swarovski crystals. Swarovski crystals in the stairs. I said, I need to take pictures on those stairs. But then Virgin said, hold up. Don't do us. Virgin got the entrance to the club, which is my favorite place on the ship. The entrance to the club is all mirrors and lights. I said, what? I said, okay. Oh, all right, if you must. A corridor of mirrors and light. I'm in, period. So anyway, January, Chat's not going. I said, okay. So it took me a minute and I was like, all right, I'm over that. I'm going. It's cool, no big deal. So let's go, let's move on because we spent enough time there. We go on, we get to, let's leave. Let's go on a vacation. I leave here, I leave Pittsburgh. I gave myself, because I've never been to Miami either. I've never been to Florida at all. So I flew into Florida a day early and I stayed at a Hilton property, the True by Hilton. Fantastic. The treatment was great. You know, again, everything was everything. I go in early, so I wanted to spend the whole day in Miami. I said, I'm not just, I want to experience Miami and trip inside of a trip. So everything cool, not a problem. Go hang out. I end up being able to go to the Bayside Market. Of course, I don't feel as though I got enough time at the Bayside Market. It's a whole market and there's just shops and shops and Y'all know I like to shop, child. I'm walking down there now. You talk about the luggage. I bought this cute little luggage. It was cute. It's ombre and it's blue. I said, oh, I like this. And it's the backpack and of course, so I'm studying airline stuff too. So I made sure I ordered this on purpose. I said, I got it. Boom. I got the little carry-on and I got the backpack and it matched and it's all cute. And I ain't got to worry about checking nothing. And boom, we'll put it in there. Everything will be fine. I made sure I purchased that luggage because of the weights and the sizes and all of that. All of that. Child, and I start putting my little clothes and things together. I said my first Virgin Voyage last month, Resilient Lady. That's what we went on. We went on Resilient Lady out of Miami. Loved it so much. I put down a deposit on a future sailing while on the ship. Absolutely, April. And that happened to us. That happened to us. And I'm going to get to it. Just hang on. But we were on Virgin Voyages, Resilient Lady, and sailing out of Miami. I got to put my little clothes together and all that, and I am a chronic overpacker. I tried. I promise y'all I tried, but I end up with a whole nother suitcase. Then I was mad because I went back in and I tried to find an ombre blue, couldn't find one, but I already had this black and white one. That was cool, and it worked its way, and it was cool. So that was that. I said, all right, cool. So had a great time in Miami, hanging out the first day. Then we come time to get on the ship. Here goes the first curveball was Chat. Oh, no, wait. Go back. Chat was the first curveball. Then there was a second curveball. There was a second curveball that came in the form of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Got to be more careful. 2 weeks, 2, maybe 3. I think it might have been 3 weeks before I get ready to go. I get a letter in the mail. And I'm like, what is this? Jury duty. I said, I know you. Jury duty. And the jury duty, my sailing was from Thursday to Monday. Thursday to Monday. I'll be home Monday night. Get off the boat. I'll be home Monday night. Jury duty. 8:30 in the morning on Monday. I said, gots to be more careful. Gots to be more careful. I said, you can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. But that's the thing about court, ain't it? Court is always inconvenient. I don't care what you're going for. I don't care if you're the one that started it. It's always inconvenient. So I said, okay, well, let's see. I got on that phone. Got on the phone. And again, you know that old creator we got. He got jokes. He got jokes. And he just wants to see how quickly and how smoothly you could jump over this fence I put in front of you. He knows that you can do it, but he wants to see. Those are those tests. He wants to see, are you going to climb it or are you going to hurdle it? But he know you know how to get over it. Okay? So he put the little, what you get ready to do, James? Well, I ain't climbing no fence. I'm old, bitch. I ain't climbing no fence. I'm going to hurdle it. Like, I don't. And I ain't trying to mess up my shoes. I said, okay. I got on the phone. I called on downtown Pittsburgh. And this was the whole thing. I told them what I had going on. No, this is not just a vacation. This is a business excursion that I'm going on. I have a group of folks that come to see me. And I cannot cancel. I cannot do that. I'm not going to be able to do this. This is work. The lady said, James, don't even worry about it. Not a problem. We'll go ahead and we'll reschedule it. I mean, no pushback. No. I had to send them a couple things. They verified it. And boom, that was the end of it. They rescheduled. I said, phew. So that was the second thing. I said, what is this? Like, what is going on? Nothing's ever. It's never that easy. So I said, okay, cool. I was like, all right, boom, no problem. And then I was geeked. So, and I told y'all all of this to just so you know how the fear of the ship and the fear of the ocean, child, I ain't have no time to really focus on it. Not at all. Not at all. Now, I ran out of time because I had some other stuff going on here. Y'all know also in the midst of this, back in October, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. So I end up going through all of that in the midst of all of this as well. And I'm like, okay, so what's getting ready to happen? My mother took care of all her stuff. We went through all her chemo and stuff, and her chemo was done shortly before time for me to leave. So again, there were hurdles. There were hurdles. Now, I have to say, if my mama wouldn't have been done with that chemo, y'all might have been mad at me. Because listen, there's no way I'm leaving. I wasn't going to leave. I wasn't leaving here with my mama going for no chemo treatment. That wasn't happening. But literally within a month, her chemo treatments were ended. So again, hurdles. I ain't climbed no fences. Hurdles, baby. Hurdles. And my mother's fine. She's doing fine. My mother rang the bell and all that before I left. So it was cool. It was cool. So little things, well, things, okay? But again, I was set up for greatness, so it was okay. So here we are. We're going to go get on the boat. We go get on the boat, okay? Now I got one person, and I'm only going to tell it because of who she is. See, because there's some things, we're going to get into the good stuff now. We're going to get into the good stuff now, okay? Because some folks we're going to talk about and some folks we're not going to talk about, okay? And some folks don't want to be talked about because that is the origin and that's what we got going on here. Everybody is not part of the show, okay? Everybody not part of the show. I'm the star of the story. Everybody's not, and everybody doesn't want to be. Everybody don't want to be on camera. Everybody don't want to be part of the story. They don't. Not directly. But this person, this is my sister. Oh, yeah, she out there in the audience. It's your turn, girl. It's her first cruise, too. She ain't never been on a cruise. But she not afraid of the water. She not afraid of the ship. She ain't afraid of none of that. She just ain't never been on a cruise. And I'm talking about Natalia. Natalia, I said, you've got to be kidding me. Me and Natalia, we talk. We go back and forth. Natalia has a family member that is an avid traveler, knows everything travel, okay? And then Natalia's not actually from here. Natalia's from the exotic spaces, okay? So, but her family member knows everything travel, cruising, flying, hotels, all that. She told her, she said, girl, it's going to be fine. Everything be fine. Don't worry about going in the day before. Now, I'm preaching. You get on a cruise, you get on the day before. You get on the day before. Turns I had every intention of going, but my first grandchild was born the week after the trip. I canceled because I was scared my daughter would have. Listen, congratulations to you all. Congratulations to you all. This is what I'm talking about life happening. Life happening. There'll be stuff that be going on, especially when you book out that far. When you book out that far. It was a great meet, everyone. We all had a great time. Right here, powerful. I ain't get to you yet. I ain't get to powerful yet, but I'm gonna get to you. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. So I saw you when you came in though. But yeah, we're gonna get the powerful. Oh, yes. So I said, okay, Natalia. So Natalia's like, nope. My family member said it's going to be all right. I said, cool, cool. But I'm nervous and I'm trembling the whole time. And I said, okay, all right. James, I miss your Real Housewives reviews and your take on the girls. I got one coming later today, Terry. I got one coming later today. The notes is right over here on the table. So keep your eyes and ears open for me. So I said, all right, Natalia, no problem. Everything went off without a hitch. Chet ain't here. I'm done with that, though. I'm over it, right? I'm over the whole Chet. Yeah, it took a couple months, but I'm over it. Chet ain't coming. No problem. But Natalia, really? Really, bitch, really? So I'm like, all right. So she's like, oh, it's going to be fine. Natalia hits me on the phone while I'm getting myself together to go over here and get on this here ship. And Natalia tells me that she is stuck in New York. I said, bitch, I know you lying. I know you are lying. I know good and well the person that got the closest proximity to me, my sister, ain't getting ready to have me all stressed out. I get on the ship. I'm still keeping in contact with Natalia. Natalia's trying to go, oh, I'm going to be there. Don't worry about it. I'm going to get that. I said, okay. And the anxiety is building. I'm like, oh, God. Okay. So deck 7 is where you actually get on. Deck 7. Everything's all together and we on, and I mean the getting on and going through customs and all, everything was just fine. No hiccups, no issues, nobody having problems, nobody lost luggage, none of that. There's 21 of them. There's 21 of them and nobody got an issue. Nobody got an issue. But I got Natalia. Natalia done got stuck. So now Natalia's at some point she's on the plane and she's on her way. And I'm like, okay, Natalia. And she's like, I got till 5. I said, you don't have till 5. You do not have till 5, my love. At 4 o'clock, they shut the gates down. But they don't leave till 5. But you only have till 4. Because 1 hour before they shut it down, they got a muster drill. You go to your room, and your room, there's a video in there that you have to go. It's a safety video. You have to watch the safety video, and they know if you watch the safety video. They know if you only watched a portion of the safety video. They know everything in there is powered. It's cold-blooded. It's cold-blooded. Virgin, it's cold-blooded. You walk in the door, baby, and the drapes open. If you got a balcony, you walk in the door and the drapes just open up. Everything is, you got a tablet. You control everything, the lights, the curtains, the air, all of that by your tablet. They know you can watch that muster drill video on your tablet or on the television. Either way, it's a direct link back to them. They know whether or not you did what it is they told you to do, period. So that 4 to 5, everybody on that ship, hey, DC Kool-Aid Lisa, everybody on that ship has to watch that full video and then get to their muster station. And that's where you would go. If there's some type of an emergency, you have to go there and you have to be accounted for. Everybody has to go there and scan their bracelet before that ship leaves dock, period. So that hour that they close, it is a very important hour because they got to wrangle all those thousands, because there are thousands of people on that ship. It's serious. And when you really get into the business of travel and the business of cruising, is when you see how cold-blooded they really are. They cold-blooded. They are cold-blooded the way they keep things moving. And when there's small hiccups and things and you be seeing people having a fit and you be like, shut up. Shut up. Because if you really knew the business of this and how cold they are with keeping this going, a hiccup here and there, shut up. shut up, shut up, just shut up, shut up. When it's something small, you know what I mean? Because people be fussing about a fork or something. Shut up. Okay, shut up. They got 900 more of them over there. Shut up. So, boom. So I said, no, baby, you don't have till 5 o'clock. You got till 4. Now, I go, because this is just me. Now, I'm here to do my thing, but I'm working. Actually, essentially, I'm working. Before I even started the business, the travel business, even if I wasn't part of the travel business, just having my people on there, YouTube is business for me. So I am working for these people who agreed to come and spend this time with me. So it is my job to make sure everybody is as good and as comfortable with what it is I put together as possible. And I never stray from that. I'm in my customer service mindset. Okay. So I go up to 7, and it's my baby Jazz is with me. And that's what we're going to call her, Jazz, my baby Jazz. She's the baby of the trip. She's the youngest person on the trip she's the youngest person there. And she's just attacking different things of her own. And she's like, I've never done this before. I've never gone without my family and this, that, thing, and the other. And I was like, well, baby, look, clink on to me, baby. Ain't no thing. Ain't no thing. And she's the baby of the trip, but that's who it was. It was me and her. We go up to 7. And we're sitting at the door. And we're waiting. And I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. It's 20 minutes to. And Natalia tells me, I'm in a cab. And I'm going. As 20 minutes, I said, Natalia, you need to tell that cab driver to punch it. You got 20 minutes. Now, Natalia the boat ain't leaving till 5. I said, Natalia, the gate is closing at 4. You need to tell that to pick the car up and get you here Flintstone time. Just pick it up and go to running. Okay? Because you got 20 minutes to get yourself to that gate and get through customs, get up here. I am at 7. I am here. And I sat and I watched that door and I watched that door. Natalia's head bopped through that door at 3:58. I said, bitch, I'll tell you, my blood pressure was... I said, girl, you trying to take me out. You trying to take me out of here. But my sister made it. 3:58, baby. I couldn't believe it. I said, Jazz, I'm so glad that you are here to see this, because people would swear I ain't telling the truth. I turned up. I said, do you see this? Jazz was like, she said, oh, I'm so nervous. I said, yeah. And then Natalia's just, she like, what? Hey, what's going on? I'm like, get to your room, fool. Get to your room and watch that video and go to the muster station and I said, we're going to meet you at the sail away. Because you got to go. We got to go. We got to go to sail away. So that was that whole thing. I said, oh my God, this is how we started off. You said, I know I needed a drink. Listen. So I'm like, all right. So you see why I ain't never even thought about, I'm on this ship. And in a minute, this ship get ready to move and we going to be on the water. I ain't had time to even think about all that. Not at all. Now, I'm going to tell you, I had a special little moment, and that's you can actually see that over on Treasure Lane, when I had to do the crossover from out of the building, out of the Terminal V, over onto the ship, because it's just a plank. Like, it's a plank. And I was like, whew, wait a minute. Wait a minute. And you looking down. And it's literally like seven stories up. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. And I'm like, okay. And I'm making my way through it. I'm like, these people, if y'all don't come on across here, and then, they dragging I'm like, don't drag your luggage, pick it up. Because it's saying clank, 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 clank. Oh, pick it up. And they on the other side singing, oh, I want to dance with somebody. Girl, I want to dance right now. oh, this is too much. So having that whole little thing. So we went on, and then we make our way up to the sail away party. So at the sail away party, you get there's free champagne and all of that. And I'm like, okay. And you're seeing it's excitement is starting to build because I'm seeing my people and I'm seeing folks with their shirts. And I did shirts for everybody. Nobody knew that they were getting shirts or anything like that. I didn't tell them. I didn't tell them anything. Really, BTV, I want to punch her. Really, BTV got her package. Hey, James, got her package, and she showed hers on her live. I was like, really, really, really big. So she showed her package as she did a opening of hers. So I'm like, okay, but everybody didn't see, just her people actually seen it. But I don't think it took the surprise of the package away from everybody, because a lot of them, they actually, they probably already had them. But yeah, I did shirts with Treasurer Travel, and they had backpacks. I did it with backpacks, Shea Treasurer backpacks. So I was like, darn you, really be. But that just built the excitement even more. So it was what it was. So I was excited because I started seeing my people floating around. I'm like, okay, they got their shirts. Everybody didn't have their shirts on, but because I didn't give and we're gonna talk about that. I didn't give them instructions, but I kind of figured that everybody would kind of like throw their shirt on, because again, some of us are on here and we're behind avatars and we don't know what you look like. We don't. I can't see, even with me getting your stuff to get you booked and all that. I don't see your photos and your personal information like that. I don't see that you submitted to the ship. I don't see that. So their ambiguity, it just stays intact. So I'm like, okay, cool. Now I know everybody's real names, but that ain't for everybody. So that's that. So I said, all right. So we get up there, we go on up. That was exciting to see them, the little blue checks on their shirts, walking around. I'm like, okay, cool. We get up there. As soon as I get to the top and I hit the bend, who do I see? That damn Chat. And he's standing there and he just thought he was just done his big one. He just thought it was just the funniest thing. I said, you are not funny. You are not funny. You're not funny. This boy done lied to me since January. Paid extra money and all of that to keep everything out of where I could see it. And his butt was right up there on that daggle thing. He gonna say, you thought you did your big one. You thought you was doing your big boy shit. You ain't did nothing. I've been here hiding in plain sight the whole time. He was literally in Miami the whole time. I done talked to this boy on the phone and everything. He was literally 7 minutes away. 7 minutes away. Do you hear me? But I mean, this is how we do. We text and we talk all the time. 7 minutes away. The fact that he was able to stay hidden in plain sight through all of that, through customs, through all of that, everything. I was like, you know what, baby, add stalker to your line of accomplishments, because you did that. Now you did that. Now what I'm gonna tell you that is so funny and so weird, you always hear me talk about this third eye, is that 6:30 in the morning. 6:30 in the morning, I tell you no lie, I woke up, because I wake up early like that anyway, but I woke up and I was looking for him. Because I told you, anytime I do anything that has to do with a hotel, there's just a few times that I've been places that I end up staying in a hotel that he wasn't there. I woke up at 6:30 in the morning looking for him and had to refocus myself and say, he ain't here. He ain't here. That's a third eye. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He was there. He was only 7 minutes away. So yeah, if you feel his presence, because he's right around the bend, across the street and around the bend a couple times. A hot mess. A hot mess. But it was a good surprise. But again, I said, oh, you're not funny. You're not funny. So then it just went from there. It just started from there, and it was just a good time. And then I look, the next thing, I look over and up on the next deck. Up on the next deck, I see Juan Key Pro. I see him up there. I looked up there and I said, there go my baby. Hair all over the place. Juan Key was, when I say Juan Key was already, I don't know. Well, Juan Key was doing his own thing. And he's done this on his channel, so I'll be able to do this. He won't mind this. Juan Key is one of my rock stars. Okay, Juan Key and Incredible Hulk were one of my rock stars. So Juan Key and Incredible Hulk and Yocrates. Yocrates was rock star as well. He won't mind. He's a rock star as well. They had other things that they were privy to that we were not. Okay, they had black armbands. So I don't know exactly when Juan's party started, but it definitely started before ours. And when I looked up there, baby Juan was getting it up on the thing. And I looked over there next to him, and nobody had to tell me who Incredible Hulk was, because none of you all have ever seen Incredible Hulk. We just know of Incredible Hulk. Incredible Hulk, he's in the chat. There's Juan. Incredible Hulk is behind the screen. That is Juan Key's husband. And I didn't have to, nobody had to tell me, because you got Juan Key and Incredible Hulk. And they standing there next to each other. And what I know of Incredible Hulk is that there's not 5 steps in between Incredible Hulk and Juan Key. So I said, well, that got to be him, because he ain't gonna let nobody else be that close to him. But when you actually look at him, I understand why he has his name. I do. I understand exactly why he has that name. Just as cute as he want to be, and just clobbering time. That is very much him. Very much him. But they're up there, and I was like excited. I'm like, okay. Then I turn around and I look and I see Monk Chip. I see Monk Chip. And she's saying, and I'm like, all right. And again, I'm surrounded. I got Jazz, and I got Powerful, and I got Really BTV, and then there's more. I'm not yelling out everybody's name, but I got more folks. Libra and her husband, and I'm like, okay. So everybody there, and then Monk Chip pulls me over to the side, and that's when I got to meet her mother. Monk Chip, y'all know Monk Chip from the chat. There's Monk Chip, and we met Monk Chip's mother, and oh my freaking goodness. When I tell you, everybody fell in love with Monk Chip's mother. Monk Chip's mother was a good time. Mama was a good time. Oh, I literally had breakfast with Mama dang near every morning. Oh man. So it was surreal. It was surreal. And then it just went from there, and the party was going, and there's more. Some, like I said, some people I'm going to talk about, some people I'm not going to talk about, because some people don't want to be the star of the story. I had a married couple, which I'm loving to be able to share this. There was a married couple that was there with me. And they had actually been on Virgin, I think, three or four times prior. And they had shirts and stuff and all of that. And I don't even think they actually put their shirts on, but they got them and all of that. But they were there, and they didn't, they had their own thing going on. They didn't feel the need to be like, okay, they do their thing. And they were the coolest couple. And of course, I ran into them multiple times throughout the ship, and they were good. And I was so happy that they were there. But let's take it all the way back. When I first announced it and I said I was going, and they said I got not just one person, because I actually did a video where people were asking me, is it a gay cruise? And I said, is it a who? Is it what? I said, no, crazy. It's a cruise, and I happen to be gay and I'm going to be there, but no, it ain't no gay cruise. Most of the people that follow me are not gay. I'm gay. That is me. I'm a homosexual. Most of my people are heterosexual women. Most of the people that follow me are heterosexual women. And what do heterosexual women have? Heterosexual husbands and boyfriends and creep tips and whatever else they want to call them. Good times. I have some of everything. I have probably less homosexuals and lesbians than anything else. So I was like, stop being ignorant, because that's just ignorant. So no, I had married couples that came with me. There was literally, everybody was there. Everybody was there. Everybody was represented. I had two male marriage. I had female and male marriage. Because that's how my real life is. My real life is like that. I'm not part of one group. I am many things to many different people. So I was like, that is so stupid. But that was that. So let me go into this thing. Well, no, hold that for a minute. Last thing I'm going to say about the sailaway party was off the chain. Off the chain. So it was completely exciting for us because we just seeing each other and all of these different things. Oh, and then there was one. It was two ladies who we were walking when I was walking to go up to where Warren Key and Hulk were, and I think that might have been later on. Anyway, it might have been later on, but I was walking past, and there were two of my ladies, and they were saying hello to me. I didn't hear them because it's like music going and all this, and I'm going, and I got a camera going and all this. And Natalia said, "Did you see them? Did you hear them?" And I said, "What do you mean?" She's like, "They said hello to you, and you just kept walking." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, Natalia. So I spun around. And I ran back down, and I'm like, again, if you're I don't know who you are, like, to see you, because if you're behind a screen, I don't know. And I said, I ran behind him, and I got him, and I said, no. So I was like, don't do that. Don't do that. I told you all. Anytime you see me, I don't care where you see me. I'd be in a grocery store. And most of y'all listen, because Chad have been stopped in the Marshalls. I'd have been stopped at a restaurant over in the DMV. It don't make no difference. Wherever you see me, stop me. Stop me. Make me notice you. Because you notice me first a lot of times. And if you're behind an avatar, I don't know. So I was like, please. I said, oh my God, my heart dropped, because I'm like, how must that have felt? That you done got on this ship and carrying on, and I done walked past you, and you said something to me, and I just didn't respond. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, so we got that all cleared up. But yeah, like literally, that made my heart drop. I was like, oh no, I would just die. I would just die. So that was that. But it's just a lot going on. So that had happened. Let me think. Okay, so then, we done drank our stuff, and I was happy to see there go Really B. What's up, Really B? That's Supreme number 2. Really B with the opening. the opening of the package. There she is. But so we're sitting there, and they say to me, you notice that the boat is moving? And again, never thinking, right? This is the sail away party, which meant the shit that moved, okay? And until that time, I hadn't paid enough, paid it no attention. I hadn't paid it a bit of attention. And again, over on Treasure Lane, there is video from there's quite a few live videos, and some of it is a little pixelated because you had to get things situated with your phone and stuff, and we hadn't done all of that. Getting into airplane mode and all of that. But there are some video footage on Treasure Lane. Child, and that's when I really noticed that it was actually moving. I was like, oh, okay, no problem. And I was like, whatever, let's just go with it. So that was that. I didn't do anything, didn't drink anything. I was on my best behavior, and you decided to come in here and lie today. Why? Why you decided to come into this video? I'm giving you a whole month. I gave you a whole month to think about how you were going to conduct yourself, really, BTV. And you decided to come into this video lying. She is lying. She is lying. It's a lie before the Lord, honey. She's lying. She drank everything. She ate whatever she wanted and what she thought she was grown enough to eat. And she did everything she thought she wanted to do. She disappeared. She did all the things. All the things she was supposed to do. She did it all. She did it all. And whatever. Whatever. We got another little baby that was with us too. And I'll just call her Z. I'll just call her Z for this purpose. But Z, good time. We had a good time. When her and I, my mom was actually talking about her yesterday. My mom said, you and the one baby girl that went the hell on all the way up to my mom was talking to it was me, my mom, and one of my cousins were speaking. He's one of my older cousins. And said, yeah, him and the one baby girl, they done went traveling off. She said, they're just as drunk as they want to be. They up there, they trying to get all the way up to the top of the boat. My mother said, now who does that? Who's drunk and going all the way up to the top of the boat? Being on there was enough. I said, Mom, hush. But me and Z we went searching. We went searching during Scarlet Night. And we was trying to get up to, I had went up there the one day and took pictures, but I couldn't find my way back up there. That was probably some of that liquor. But anyway, we found it and we got up there to take pictures at the sign and our red stuff. But so that was that. As far as the moving of the boat and all of that, I had tested things. I tested things because I thought about it and I said, y'all know, I did chemo for like 5.5 months and I never got sick on my stomach, not one time. With all that chemotherapy, and I had very, very strong chemo. And I said, again, I ain't no punk like that. So I had that Dramamine and all that. I had it with me. I had it packed in case I had an issue, but I didn't take it. I said, because my stomach's not weak like that. So I thought. And I said, I'm just going to test it. I ain't taking that. Especially when people say, oh, it make you sleepy and this, that, and the other. I said, oh, what? Pay too much money to be running around sleepy. Child, I got enough time to sleep when I'm dead, child. So I went on and I didn't take it. I had it with me in case I needed it. And that was it. Never ended up taking it. Never ended up having any types of problems whatsoever. When I tell you, it seems as though I was kind of just scared for no reason for all these years. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. The only time that I felt the ship move was when I got in the hammock. When I got in the hammock on my balcony, I could feel the ship move because hell, you're hanging from it. Duh, because your feet are up off the ground. Other than that, I was on my feet on the ground and I never had any issues. Never had any issues at all. What Sassy said, afterward, patches behind my ear, no drowsiness. I don't know. I did fine, Sass. I was cool. I was cool the whole time. And I did all the things that I wanted to do. I went to the front of the ship during the day. I went to the back of the ship during the day and stood in the fear. And that was truly, everything else that was going on. I said, I'm gonna take it in because there's like you'll never be able to do everything. And it was just a short sailing. So it's only like 3-4 days. And I was like, but those were the things that I knew I wanted to do. I wanted to stand in the fear. So front of the ship, back of the ship, did it at night as well, where I could actually see that there was no land there. Also, I did it at night where you just can't see at all. There ain't nothing out there to see. So I did that as well. And there is a live. I actually did a live where I actually sat out there and I was talking to you all. It was the one night before I went to the 80s party. I was sitting out there talking to you all. I went on my balcony, multiple. I went on that balcony every day. Went on a balcony. I went on the balcony at night as well. Then I went on a bigger balcony because when I went up to Socrates' room and at night I went on to his balcony, which his balcony was, I told y'all he was rock star. He got a black band. His balcony was way bigger than mine. He had like let out chairs and all that. I got some pictures on the little let out chair that's up on his balcony. Ciao. Yes, indeed. So let's see. Where we at? So that was the Sailaway. Sailaway was a blast. Scarlet Night was everything. And I missed, because see, there's like 2-3 things leading up to the big party, they call that the after party at the top. On Scarlet Night, there's like where you get the legend of Scarlet Night and what it is and all of this. I didn't get to do any of that because I was at Gumbay. Gumbay is a Korean barbecue restaurant. It's a specialty restaurant, and they play this drinking game. And I had to do it. Like that was part of my studies. I saw about the whole thing at Gumbay. Now I couldn't eat anything at Gumbay because everything is based in fish. What's up, Miss Leslie? Everything is based in fish and fishiness. And I was like, oh, I can't do that. But I told the guy that we had, I said, don't worry about it, baby, because I'm going to drink my meal. Because the game it's a drinking game. You do this little numbers game. And if you miss in the game, you got to drink sake. So I ain't worried about that food. But he actually went to another table and actually made me some stuff that I could eat. Child, it was a piece of like chicken and stuff. I tasted the chicken. They like fried this chicken. I tasted it and it was cool. And I kept it moving. I was like, all right, whatever, honey. Sake. And playing the game. Gumbay, I would definitely go back. Even though I can't eat the food, I would definitely go back to Gumbay because that little game is just as fun, child. You keep drinking sake and try to keep counting and don't mess with nothing with 3s, 6s, and 9s and see where you end up at, honey. Like everybody else, honey. Sake. So it was a good time. So I liked Gumbay. I would definitely go back. I didn't get a taco. Now I don't know how I did that, but there's in the galley, there is a taco shop. I didn't get not one taco. The one time I was getting ready to go back there, Natalia was like, let's do something else. So we ended up going to do something else. So I never ended up making my way back around to do the to get a taco. So I was like, okay, I missed that. I intended to go. They have a whole restaurant that all they do is different types of Roman noodles. And I was so geeked up for that. I was like, I gotta do it. I didn't end up getting to do that. Now, I told y'all that I wanted to go to Lick Me Till I Scream. That is a specialty ice cream shop that they have that is on deck 7. You know deck 7. Hey, Natalia. Natalia, you still in here? I know you are. Raise your hand. Hey, D. You know deck 7 where I was sitting there waiting on you, honey? It's across from there. But lick me till I scream. And it has homemade ice cream over there. And baby, when I tell you that ice cream is everything. They had a key lime ice cream that I said, listen, y'all know I lost a couple pounds. I said, baby, I keep hanging on 7. I'm going to be waddling off of here. Honey, that ice cream was everything. It was everything. Question: before you got on the ship, did you give yourself a prep talk to help face your fear of sailing? May I ask, because I'm going on the next one, but I will admit I am scared. I had a whole lot of them, Miss Leslie. I had a whole lot of them before we got to that point. But once I got there, I didn't even have the time to even get into it. I was so in the moment. And that was that I didn't even plan it to be in the moment that much. But again, I was working. So I had a group of people with me. So I didn't have time to worry about my fear. But I had dealt with my fear long enough. I was sick of that fear. I was sick of it. I was sick of it. So, it was what it was. And we're going to talk about me going down on the beach because that was the big one. That was the big one. The standing on the deck and seeing no land, and then the actual being down at the water. That's the big one. Hold on a second. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. So, the lick me till I scream was everything that I thought it would be. And I went there multiple times. That was good. But that key lime ice cream was everything. Now, I will say this, the first stop, which I think was a bust for me, was when we got off in Key West. I didn't stay on the island long enough. Chet and Natalia had already gotten off earlier, so they were off. And they had already done some shopping and stuff. Chet literally went over. I think he only went over there to get a red shirt. So he would have he needed a red shirt for Scarlet Night, because Scarlet Night was that night, because that was like one full night at sea. So he went over there to get a red shirt. And I'm like, okay, cool. Come on now. Just got off a Carnival. And so Natalia stayed on the island with me, and we went around a little bit, and we went to a store, got a few little things. And she's like, well, ain't really too much more to see, and then it was hot, and she had these bags that she was carrying and different things. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, let's go on back. And in the midst of that, then my youngest actually called on the phone, because you couldn't get me on the phone while we were on, and he called, and I ended up getting a phone call from him. He then took himself. Here I'm getting off of Key West. He's in Miami. He's in Miami. So he's like talking to me, and that was like hilarious. I'm getting back onto the ship, going through the little customs thing and all that, and he talking in my ear, and I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do with him. And then I'm Lord, the phone, they take everything and they're putting it through the machine. The phone is going through the machine, and the baby is on there talking, and just a whole hot mess, a big old hot mess. But the boy was over in Miami doing his thing, and I'm in Key West and all that. So all of that was going. That's what I said. There's so much going on that I didn't even catch. Again, me doing what I do, doing all my little studies. I said, shit. There was 2 things that I was supposed to do when I was over at Key West that I did not do. I did get pictures. Because y'all see pictures of me. I did take the pictures because I died to have this crocheted outfit. I was like, I gotta have this crocheted outfit because I just had it in my mind. You know, I be having things in my mind that I wanted a white crocheted outfit, period. And I didn't give myself enough time because I was going to get Supreme #1 to actually do it for me, but I didn't get enough time. I messed around and I let the time go by and I didn't give her enough time, so I didn't bother her. But that's Asia from Brooklyn. Asia from Brooklyn is a beast with a crochet needle. I was like, I'm gonna get Asia to do this for me. But I said, okay, after I didn't give her enough time, then I went and I said, well, let me just do it myself. Then I was like, I don't have time. I don't have time because I did one of my cousin's proms before I came. So that pushed me back. I did their little prom and stuff. I was like, okay, whatever. So I ended up searching around and then I found it. I found the white online. I found this white doggone, it was ecru. I found it. Then I found 2 different pairs of sneakers and a pair of sandals. I already had sandals. But I was like, all right, cool. And I thought I would have to do something to it, but I didn't. I didn't have to do a thing to it. I was like, okay. So that was what I had planned for over there, my white crochet outfit. And then there's a drink that they do over on the island that is key lime. And then they're known over there for key lime pie. And I didn't do either one of those things. And it didn't hit me till I was back on the ship and moving. I'm like, I'm not going to get back off the ship. We'll just wing it. And I didn't get to do it. My outfit for the beach, Sassy, I made it. I actually had 3. There's 2 y'all didn't see. But I have, I did the white and the black. I had a red one, and I also have this baby blue one. Y'all catch them some other time. But yeah, they're all 3 are different. But yeah, but I made it. So I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. And it's not it wasn't a one piece, Sass. It's actually it's a t-shirt and the pants. It's 2 pieces. It's 2 pieces. So that was that over at Key West. So there's 2 things that I missed at Key West. So I must do that again. Which won't be a problem because if you've not seen the advertisement, I am going back. Well, let's talk about that. Let's go there. So part of the way through us doing this, my folks that was there said, you know what, you should do, you're not missing anything, key lime pie. I love key lime pie. Key lime pie is so good. I like key lime. I do. And I love lemon meringue. Those are like my 2 favorite, lemon meringue and key lime. Oh my God. Love it. My favorite fruits are limes and lemons. Go figure. My folks, we were sitting up at the galley and they were like, you know what? You should do this as an annual thing. And I said, okay, cool. So we are booked, same sailing, different ship. We're going on the Scarlet Lady. We're going on the Scarlet Lady next. It is 2027 in May, and that is Mother's Day week. So it's Mother's Day weekend again in May of 2027. We're going on Virgin Voyages. So we will be going back and we'll go for the 2nd annual, which I've actually named it now the No Fear Cruise. So yeah, that's that. So I think that's what Miss Leslie's talking about when she says she's going on the next one. And it'll be fine. And it's no fear. And it wasn't just fear of the ship. It's fear of being a solo traveler and different things. Other people had their own things, which is what I think made it so great. Everybody had their own things going on too. And we'll talk about that a little bit. But yeah, so you the one that started the conversation. Powerful, like the ones that started the conversation about how, that's why I said I was going to get back to her, how it should be an annual thing. And Powerful, she's everything travel too. So again, when I say I had so many people that I could lean to say, am I doing something wrong? What can I do to make it better? What, where am I at? Am I failing anywhere? And I knew they would be on. That's what be honest. Powerful, baby. She not going candy coated. She not going. We had some good conversation where she's like, nope, this, and this. You want to be successful? This, that, and that. And I needed that, and I appreciated that, and I will be forever grateful for those things, because that's just, y'all know I'm very, tell me what, don't be pussyfooting around with me. Tell me what's going on. So yeah, but that one was spearheading the we need to do this again next year. So we're definitely going back next year. But I personally, for those few things that I did miss, I'm going back December of this year. So I'll be back December on the Valiant Lady. And I'll get to go get my stuff over at Key West that I missed at Key West. So that's why I say it ain't no real big deal, because I'm going back in December. And that's December the 10th through the 14th that I will be going back, and I'm going Virgin Voyages. And I will, it's actually listed. There's a link if you are interested in sailing with me in December. By all means, it is going to be a vibe. I already got folks that are actually on the ship that weren't able to make it to the one Mother's Day, and it's getting ready to go down. James, do you have the website up yet? I do have the link and stuff is actually up. Janice, you click it, it'll take you right where you need to be. It is on Treasure Lane, and I'm going to also drop it in the information box on this video when this video is over. I'll put that link in this information box. And any questions or anything, by all means, you all can hit me at treasuretravel@yahoo.com as well. But yeah, listen, and folks wasn't playing. Well, we ain't got a lot of time to play, but there is payment plans and different things that you could actually do, and I can help you through with. Yeah, so there's a whole, I got you. But December, we're going to December, and baby, the itinerary I know works real well because I just came off of it, but that little crew that's getting on that shit, oh boy. So that's going to be my annual birthday trip. Listen, I'm here for it. Yeah, listen, there was a lot going on. And now here's one of the things. So I didn't put together, here comes powerful. I didn't do, because it was difficult to do a dinner with everybody together. And reason being is one of it is part of the way that Virgin actually does what they do with scheduling, but I can get around it as a travel advisor. I can get around it, and I can actually get things where we're all together. There was a reason that I didn't do that, because everybody doesn't want to be with everybody. So I took all of that into account, because again, remember, some people took a chance on coming, and they didn't want to be like, oh, some people are cool with the fact that you know them and they know you and all of that, and then y'all could just keep y'all little thing together. But some people are like, no, don't nobody know me, and they don't need to know me. And that's that. And then other people are just who they are. They're just who they are. You know what I mean? So that's why I didn't want an ironclad itinerary for these grown people. There's tons of stuff to do. Powerful said you need at least one thing where you can actually pull all your people together. Because if you don't, you're kind of cheating yourself, and you're cheating everybody from being together easy. And then those who want to come can come, and those who don't have to. And I was like, Ding, 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 ding. So I will definitely, that is definitely something that I'm going to put in there. But yeah, but I did not want an ironclad every 5 minutes. Okay, James said we got to do this, and James said we got to do that. James ain't running nobody but James. So, and there's tons of stuff. I mean, there was lots of stuff. Child, really B was at the spa, and Chet was somewhere getting his feet done, and Natalia was God knows where. She's come back telling me about some pizza. I said, when did you go have pizza? Oh, bitch, I've been there. So I loved that for us, that everybody felt free to really do what they do. I had dinner with Hulk and Juan Key. And it was, I was able to do the little thing, and then they used their black band privilege. Let me say that again. Black band privilege. And they had an awesome because when you got the black band, you actually have not just me, but you actually have other people who are at your beck and call as well. And their lady was cool. She got them in onto a dinner at the steakhouse that I already had scheduled. And she maneuvered it and got it done, baby. I said, okay. So we had a fantastic dinner together. It was quite a few of us. But yeah, that was the one that I had with Wonky and Hulk. And then, like I said, I went to Gumby. Gumby was, that was so funny. At Gumby, they kind of like to separate you out and put you with different people that you don't know. Child, listen. Now I'm a little narcissistic, and my people is my people. Mom Chip and her mom were at a different table, okay? And I was like, okay, cool. When I tell you, honey, I was feeling myself. I got right the hell on up and went right on over there and told them folks, well, I really apologize, but these are mine, honey. And took Mom Chip and her mother and took them right the hell on back to my table and said, y'all move over and make way for Mama. Here comes Mama. And you're my damn people. Are you okay? Are you crazy? Child, then we went and here Yocrates came later. Like, go, move on over and y'all in there. So yeah, I was over there flexing a little bit over at Gumby, but it worked. it worked. Yeah. So are you crazy? My goddamn Mama and Monk Chip. Are you crazy? Picked up their drinks and all. These are mine. I did go to bingo with the drag queen. Baby, that was me and Juan and Hulk were at big. And guess who else was on the ship that y'all know from out here? Y'all don't know her like when you see her. I know her when I see her now, but I walked past her at the bingo, her and her daughter. And I'm walking past, and she says, excuse me. And I turned around and I said, okay, because they had put down like it wasn't planned, but there were so many of us that went to the bingo. They had a little row, and they kind of like fixed it up so we could be in the row together. So that was really, really cool too. It was really B didn't get to get in. She messed around and pissed around and messed around and played around till she couldn't get in to the bingo. She came in and talked to us, and then when she went to go back, it was like it's sold out. So she ended up going on about her business, but all of us was down there together. Baby, the prizes down to the bingo. I thought it was gonna be a cute little bingo, like some little cute child. There's only 4 games. One game was like it was $500 I think it was $567. The next one was like a little bit more than that, almost double. Then another third. And then that last game was over $2,000. I said, baby, they playing bingo up in here. I was like, oh wow, I thought we was playing for, I thought it was gonna be something cute. Like I didn't even think it would be money. I thought it would be like gift certificates or hell, I don't know, bragging rights. Child, no, they was giving away cold, hard cash. You win, they said, okay, now go over to the window and scan your bracelet, and they put the money. I said, okay. Then they pulled two people from the audience, and they said, this is the time when you get to lip sync for your life. Me and Juan Key just looked at each other. Said, really? They knew not to pull me and Juan Key. We'd have tore that and they started playing I Want to Dance with Somebody. Whitney here. I said, Juan. He's like, mother. Baby, we'd have turned that whole ballroom out. But it was cute. It was cute. If it would have been me and Juan, though, child, me and Juan would probably got contracted to come back and work the ship. Child, we'd have lit it up, honey. But they got bottles of wine just for that. It was real nice. Like, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that. So let me tell you who I saw when I was coming by. I'm walking by and she says, excuse me. And I turned around, I said, yes. And she said, is we live, whore? Whore, is we live? Baby, when I tell you I fell out. Can you buy me some chips? My sugar look. I'll buy you anything you want, Lieutenant Blanco. What you want? Some chips, some pop, some chicken? What you want? I'll buy you anything you want. I know what you're talking about. He's talking about a story that I did over on Spill It Boy TV about me being at bingo and some lady begging. Oh, so I can't outrun my past. I'm sorry. I cannot. But it was Dominique Devereaux from the chats where y'all seen her. Dominique Devereaux. Oh, man. It was so good to get to talk to her. Oh, she is funny. Do you hear me? She is funny and just as cute as she want to be. And child, she got a smile that just lights up the room, honey. And I was like, you know what? She got me though. She did. She said, is we live, whore? Oh, is we live? I about fell out on that floor. Said, oh my gosh. So that's what I said. I was seeing my people all over the place. Seeing them all over the place. Having a ball. But yeah, so the bingo was good. Then I went to the show called Misbehaving. And I almost didn't go. I'm so glad I went to that show. That show was a mess. Oh, that show was a mess. It was a mess. I said, oh my goodness. And I came in and I went to that one by myself. Went over there. I got my other lady. I don't want to use her real name though. I don't want to use her real name. I'm just going to say my club buddy. I got two club buddies, but my club buddy who was actually on with us, and so much fun. And she'll be on the other stuff. But yeah, that was my club buddy. I didn't have to worry about going to the club. I knew I was going to run into her in the club. I was in the club every night. So I knew I was going to run into her. There's two people that I knew I was going to run into the club. It was her, and then there's one of our girls, one of my LGBTQIA girls. She's the L, and I met her, and she's a stud. She's a stud. I said, why don't I all these boys on this boat? I'm hanging out with the stud. And I loved it. We had so much fun. And I knew she was gonna be there every night. Then I ended up meeting her wife. Pretty, just as pretty. I met her on the beach when we got over to Bimini, to Bahamas. I met her wife. I said, I didn't think your wife, she talked about her wife, but I didn't think she was there. So where your wife be at when we be doing all this? She's like, she's in the room sleep. I said, oh, baby, we having a good old time. When I tell you we was bringing in the midnight hour, honey, I said, come on. Child up there at the galley at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning eating bacon. Wife sleep. Y'all having a good time. But yeah, so we met. And that was so cool. We got to meet them, and I keep it in we keep in touch and everything. I met multiple folks on the boat that I kept in touch with, and yeah, one of the ladies is actually going to be here. I'm actually going to a boat ride that's here in town next month, and she'll be here for that. She's coming down to Pittsburgh for that, so I'll be seeing her soon. Yeah, and that whole conversation started about my pants. Me and Z and Jazz moseying through, and she like, oh, I got to have them pants. I got to have them, and I'm like, girl, you can have them. And we laughed, and then we just kept on running into each other and talking, and then we exchanged information before we got off of the ship. And we've been keeping in contact ever since, but I'll be seeing her shortly here in Pittsburgh and in about a month. So, I mean, but that again, I don't meet strangers. It just, right. No kids, Miss Honey, no kids, none. Not a crumb snatcher in sight. I told you, it was too much kids when mine was on the phone going through the damn thing, talking during customs, the damn phone lighting up. I said, Lord have mercy. How embarrassing. But the boy needed something. So it was what it was. The boy needed something. He's doing his little travel thing. So I said, Lord have mercy. So let me see. So Dominic Devereaux. Oh, I went to Misbehaving. I went by myself. It was just saying all the wrong things. That was the show. The show was just saying all the wrong things. Right, child. Everybody loved Jazz. Jazz is the baby of the group. If Jazz told us, child, we ain't going to go all into it, but Jazz had everybody crying at the damn table. Everybody was a crying mess at the table. Jazz talking, and everybody's like, who the hell's cutting onions? Jesus. Child, when I tell you there was some bonding going on and some good times being had, it was a time. It wasn't on the land, but there was a time in the sea, honey. It was really, really good. So yeah, in Misbehaving, it was just a mess. Like, it was going down. And when the show first started, well, it hadn't even started yet. There's this real cute little guy. And I said, okay, so it's this lady, and I think she's from the UK because she has this whole accent, just real groovy lady. She's a little older than me. I want to say she probably was 60, like in her early 60s. But she was real groovy, had this real sharp suit on. It's like a sequin suit. But the little guy, he was cute as he wanted to be. Cute little guy. But he was like her little, sidekick. And he said to me, you by yourself? And I said, yeah, I am. And he was like, okay. And because I sat down close to the front. And he was like, all right, so if I tell you to touch me, would you be okay with that? And I'm like, what? He said, if I tell you to touch my nipples, would you be okay with that? And I said, yeah, okay. And he's like, okay, cool. So I got your permission to touch you, and you got my permission to touch me. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I was like, what are we doing here? I guess we touching each other. Wait. And then I'm looking around like, okay, Chet ain't in here. Good, I'm good. Yeah, we can touch each other. Okay, look, the muscle ain't around. He gone. So yeah, you won't get beat up or nothing. Just don't worry about it. So, and I'm laughing. I'm like, okay, key. That's the key. All right, go. No problem. Go on. And that's that. And I just laugh. And the show starts. They're doing the show, and the show is fun and all that. And then it got started. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. He is actually a aerial circus person. He sings and he dances and he does all this shit. He did this whole little thing, and he goes and he spins up on the thing and he's doing all this, and then he comes down from the ceiling and then straddles me. It's like, okay, you're on. I was like, okay. Well, you know, I'm a performer as well, so I performed. And I'm just going to leave that there. But the name of the show is Misbehaving, and it was very interesting. Glad I ain't got no footage of that, but that was interesting. And then funny part, Chet went to, there was a second showing of that show. Chet went to the second showing, and I just laughed. I just cracked up, and I was like, okay. Juan Key, you got to go to his channel. He did a it was another party with the diva. Some party that she did, some show she had, and Juan was like the highlight of that show. He got pulled on the stage, and because y'all know Juan is a performer. He is a theater kid. He for real, like for real, like he got his ass got hard. He's for real. He's the real deal, Holyfield. So yeah, good time. But oh yeah, Misbehaving was something. I do have a picture. I have a picture of the stage, but no footage of what was going on. We ain't rolling no bean footage, but it was interesting. But he was a cutie. I said, boy, you playing games down here straddling me and playing games. I said, okay, that was fun. So that was and speaking of the dancers and stuff, the Happenings cast. So they have this cast of entertainers, which is called the Happenings cast. And I did get to meet a few of the Happenings cast and took pictures with them, and we had a good time and kept in contact. But there's the one young lady who at the Scarlet party, if you go back and you see over on Treasure Lane, you see the footage. I'm up top. I was up top, right, sitting right next to the DJ. Cute. But I'm sitting right there by the DJ, child. And I'm filming down. She's down there getting it. Do you hear me? Getting it. And she's dancing and she's going, and the people in the live were getting their complete life off of her. And I was like, yeah, I said, I couldn't take my eyes off of her. She was jamming down there, getting down and carrying on. And I ended up running into her later on, the next day. And I was like, I said, you know what? I'm a social media person as well. And I said, I was live last night during Scarlet Night, and my people were going off about you. She was like, oh my gosh. So she gave me her information and all that. And I'll put her stuff down there so y'all can follow her. But we took pictures and all of that, just as cute as she could be. Just nice, like nice. I just had nice interactions with folks. Okay, so yeah, we just going on. It's almost 2 hours. Okay, so well, look, it was 4 days. So y'all tell me when y'all tired and I'll shut up. But so we go over Bahamas, Bimini Beach, Bahamas. Beautiful. I've been to a beach before, okay? But I've never seen white sand. It was white. I was like, okay, cool. Nothing like what I thought things were going to be. And like I said, I've been to a beach before, but I never would approach the water because I always was freaked out about where the water and the sand meet, which I know it's out of order because I'm a believer. And I'm a very spiritual person. So I believe. And I know that I'm not supposed to question it because I know why it stays like it stays. I know why. He is why, because he said so. And when he decides that he don't want it to stay, that's when you have tsunamis and things of that nature. But he says so. So it's nothing to be questioned, but I'm human, and that's kind of what we do. So that kind of freaks me out. So I wanted to, child got lots of questions. Let me know when it's questions time. Just start throwing them out, Sass. You know, I jump around. You know, I can multitask. So I know they're going to be messy because I know you. So go on. Go for it. So I'm like, okay, cool. I know that's out of order, but that was my thing. I said I got to go stand at that was the last piece of my spiritual journey. Okay. So I said, I'm gonna go stand here at this spot where this water and stuff meets. And I went on down there and I stood near his video. I just put that up not long ago, put the video up. And you got Chet and you got Really B are in the water, and you know, a ton of other people were in the water. Natalia is on the beach and she is filming us. And you hear Natalia in the back. She's like, "Go ahead, it's fine. You got this. You got this." And I'm like, "Bitch, I'm where I was supposed to be going. This is it. This is this is as far as I was going. Was right here." And I was like, "Okay." And then I did it. And then I stepped into the water. That was never part of the plan. It was weird. It was different. Feeling your feet sinking into the sand and stuff was strange. But I wasn't scared. I take this journey you're on seriously. Travel is life. My first question was going to be about the water. So I'm listening. Okay, yeah. So I stepped down and I'm like, okay, cool. And I think the thing is, I don't like creepy crawlies. I don't like stuff. Okay, I don't like stuff. So, and I got a real thing about anything that slithers on its belly. I don't like animals that slither on their belly, and I don't like people who slither on their belly. And if you know me, you know I don't fool with slithery souls. I ain't got time for it. I don't like it. But when I was on the beach, because you can see everything's white. Nothing moving weird in the sand or none of that stuff like that. I didn't even put my water shoes on. I went and got in the water. Now there's that little dip down where I noticed. I'm like, oh, so why are they having a hard time getting back? It looked like the people that's coming back to shore, they were having a hard time. I said, what is going on? But there's like a divot that you got to step up. Kinda. That's weird. Because again, I've only ever been in a man-made pool. You know, divots, child, unless somebody ain't know what they is doing. You know, that kind of thing. But I went in literally up to my knees, and then it happened. Really B probably done left. So I'm gonna give y'all the taste. She probably ain't here no more. Child. Oh, really be play games with Mother Nature, honey. Oh, come on. The water feels great. Come on. You got it. It's good. Come on. Baby, a couple of waves came by. So I got to see everything, just how fast things will change, how fast Mother Nature steps in and does what she does. See, I blame Really B. Chet said that it was a boat that went by further out in the water that made the waves come. But I'll go for some of that. Where the wind come from, Chet? Because it was just a little boat, not no ship like we got off of. It's a boat. Oh, there she is. Hi, Really B. Hey, really be. So, the boat, Chet, like I said, Chet said that the boat made the waves come, and but I'll go for that. But it got windy, and you can see it in the video because I told you my outfit is two pieces. It's not one piece. It's two pieces. So you got to move. You can see. And so it was kind of like going, and then there's a wave. Then there was another wave, and I'm like standing there, and then the wave came by and it knocked Really B's ass out. I said, girl, see, Mother Nature told you to quit playing with her. She said, quit playing with me. Girl, that wave came faster and knocked my daughter over. Child knocked her down. I said, Lord have mercy. So Chet is trying to, Chet and him too, because he's bigger than Really. He's tall. Chet's like 5'11". Really B's like 3 foot. So it knocked her a little bit. And so then after that, there's another one, and you can see other people like it's like moving the people. I said, this right here is the power of the Creator. Like, I run all this shit, all of it. And that little swimming that they thought they was doing wasn't nothing. They was swimming, honey, and the wave said, get over there. So after that, Really, I'm looking at Really, and I'm like, okay. So she get herself together, and then here come another one. And then this one just took my girl down. It just took her down, took her out. She disappeared. I said, where'd she go? Took her down. She was gone. I said, see. Now, Really, I fault you for all that. Every bit of that. All of that was your fault, Really B, because all you had to do was just be in the water. No, you want to come on in and Mother Nature said, I made him scared for a reason, and I'm going to show you since you're doing all this talking. And that wave took poor Really out. Child, her glasses went one way, she went the other. So then we got this whole thing. Then Chet's getting her together and get her up. And then it was like, damn, this is messed up, because Really's glad. If you know about Really, y'all know her like I know her. You don't know Really B like I know Really B. Really B's glasses are designer. Okay. So we talk about a whole grip, honey. And the glasses is just gone. I'm like, oh, shit. So we're like going through that. Like, we moved through that whole emotion. Like, okay, she's okay. Now we got to make sure she's okay. All that. And there's footage. There is footage of my baby biting the dust. But I ain't post that, because I ain't doing that. But Mother Nature got her ass good. But anyway, so then some really nice man a while later came down from way up the beach. Okay. We were in Bimini Beach. That man came from Nassau and brought Really B's glasses. And he said, I saw these glasses or whatever. So she got her glasses back. So that was really nice. But Lord have mercy. The power of the Creator and that water out there, it is to be respected. It's not to be feared. It is to be respected. He came back with her glasses, and they were not broken or anything like that. So Mother Nature had to show your ass something, Really B. She ain't want to hurt you, but she wanted to show you that she was that girl in that instance and that you were not. And you telling me to come in, she told you, shut your mouth. I got this. And Mother Nature beat up my daughter. Now, I don't usually allow that kind of thing, but I don't know. I can't beat her, really. So I had to kind of let it slide. I had to let it slide. She got you. But really got her glasses back, honey. Her glasses was in the whole next zip code, honey. I said, Lord have mercy, Jesus. Anyway, so really came back. And you can hear her say it in the video that I post. You hear her say, she said, yeah, Chet told me to Chet told me to come up here and sit myself down somewhere. But she's a trooper. She still was out there. It's like, whatever. I'm like, girl, came up there. We sat for a while, and that was that. We talked about it, and they're like, well, good for you, up to my knees and all that. And then Powerful came, and Cajun came. There was a few of them that actually came. Some more of my people came down on the beach, and they're like, oh, and they went into the water. And this was when it was like, oh, wow. Because I didn't even think about it. Here we go, Sass. So, and also Miss Leslie, I didn't even think about it. They all in the water at this point. I just got up and just walked on out into the water. Didn't give it a second thought. Didn't, nothing with the fear or any of that. Still with the respect of it, but no fear. And I just walked right on into the water. Went on out there with them and was talking, and I was just comfortable. I was completely comfortable. It was just like the fear just was lifted right off me. I was like, that's awesome. Like that right there was really awesome because I was just over it. Like, I'm like, again, over it. I'm not that kind of punk. I'm not. I don't walk around fear and stuff. That just is not my thing. And I let that whole fear of the ocean go on way too long. Way too long. I can't even tell y'all the things that I have passed by because of that. I've passed by tons of opportunities because of that. Because of that. I passed by a whole trip to Hawaii about my daggone fear of flying. One of my kids, one of my house kids, my gay house kids, was like, he lived in Hawaii. He's in the service. And he's lived in Hawaii for years. He's like, I'm sending for you. I'm like, no, you ain't. No, you are not. And now he live in Texas. Too late. I'm like, shoot, I'd have missed my whole trip to Hawaii. You're too late. He's in Texas. Say, I'm going to go to Texas, child. I'm going to go to Hawaii. I'm gonna go though. I'm going. But anyway, so that was that. So I went back into the water, and then that time I actually went up to here. I went up this far into the water. That was it. I ain't put my head in, none of that old funny stuff. But I did go up this high, and that was it. That was it. That was enough. And listen, and that's what Powerful was like, come on, let's go further. I was like, no, I was still above, but below the waist. At that time, I was like, no, Powerful, I'm good. But eventually, the water started moving, and I did get wet up to, mid torso. So, and that was cool. That was cool. Yeah. So that was like really Corpus Christi. Okay. Yeah, that was cool. So that was the water thing. So I did get that done. Went up onto because it's nothing but a big beach party. So all y'all who are going on the trip, December 10th through the 14th, get ready. Get ready, people, get ready. Honey, that ain't nothing but a big old beach party. Down on the beach was one thing. When you come up off of down there, baby, there's a whole party with the Happenings cast and the DJ. Baby, we went on up there, got these drinks. Really B said, come on, she got us all drinks. Honey, I got this some type of frosted something kind of drink that was lime and we was up there. So up there was a good old time. And yeah, you got to stand in the shower, get all that old sand and stuff off you. Then I put on my water shoes and stuff up there. And up there is where Chet and them actually got to meet my friend Soup and got to meet her wife. I'm happy you faced your fears and that you had a wonderful time. Thank you, Kwani. Kwani was one of the ones that was actually in that live where you remember, Kwani, when in the live where the girl was dancing, the girl that's part of the Happenings cast was dancing, and they were all going off about her in that live. That girl, and then when you just see when I seen her like up close, stunning. I mean, stunning. She had her skin just looked like black Teflon, like my grandmother's skin. Like my grandmother had the most clear, dark skin of anybody that I've ever seen, really. Like my grandmother, that's why you always hear me say this Teflon that I have that my grandmother gave me. My grandmother did not have one blemish, none. I always wanted to be as dark as her. I'm not, but yeah, this girl, she is stunning, and she was so nice. And she does, because she's another one. She's like, I love your fit. I love what you're wearing, and she was going off about this bracelet that I had, and I'm like, girl, I'm sitting there looking at her like, you going off about this bracelet, child? Y'all know me. Child took that bracelet right on off, honey. Told her here. She's like, are you sure? I'm like, I am quite sure. I'm quite sure. Child took that bracelet off. You can have this, honey. Girl, please. That child, she's out there. She is doing things, and she is going to be somebody. I just knew it. I just being in her presence, I said, girl, this is just the beginning for you. Just the beginning. She had a whole thing about her, a whole aura about her that you just draw to her. And she was at different things, and she's like, are you going to be at the We Fancy? That was the last night. I'm like, absolutely. We Fancy that's the last party. That is the last party, and that's where you could wear, whatever type of really elaborate outfit. That's where I wore the sequin pants and netted top to that party. And they do a whole production. The Happenings cast do a whole production during that. That party was something interesting. But baby, that 80s party, was off the chain. Now, again, those things that you are thinking that aren't going to be, like I thought the bingo wasn't going to be nothing, and they giving away thousands of dollars. I was like, what? Then the 80s party, man, hearing all them old songs, and it had a specific crowd that actually ended. I stayed at the 80s party till they were literally bringing the lights up in the club. They were bringing the lights up. That's where I wore the black and white jumpsuit. I wore that to the 80s party. And the hat that I had on, the hat was not part of the outfit. I got the hat. I bought it off the ship. We were just passing by. There was just a little boutique stuffed over in the corner. And where was I coming from? The steakhouse. I was coming from the steakhouse, I think. Yeah, I was coming from the steakhouse when I had the dinner with Warren Key and Incredible Hulk, and that we were coming from down at the steakhouse. And as we were passing by, I seen that, and I bought that hat from there. And when I was getting dressed, it was me and Jazz. And because Jazz's room was literally down the hall from mine, me and Jazz were like together like this the whole time. Even when we were at the hotel, Jazz was right downstairs from me. Jazz was the first one to get to Miami. She was right behind me. And we were like this the whole time. And we still like this. That's it. That's just my baby. That's my baby girl now. She was the baby girl of the trip. She's the youngest person on the trip. Everybody fell in love with Jazz. She went parasailing. I was so mad at her. I said, why didn't you tell me? So we could have filmed you, and you could have got some footage, and you would have it for your family and stuff. But she went parasailing. And I said, but that, the good thing about that, if she would have even thought it out, she probably wouldn't have did it. And that was like the thing, like with me walking into the ocean. If I had thought about it, I probably wouldn't have did it. But she went parasailing. I was so proud of her. I'm like, oh my God. Now that, I don't know about that now. But yeah, parasailing. I said, okay. But yeah, I bought the hat from there. But yeah, that 80s party was off the chain. Oh, but what I was saying, so Jazz told me, she said, do me a favor. I was all the way dressed, and she's sitting there waiting on me, and I put the jewelry on that. And she's like, do me a favor. She said, you ain't got to take my my advice, I said, just say it. I tell you all the time, I am just so easy and so open. Just tell me. She said, I want you to put that hat on with that just so I could get a mental picture of what it would look like. I said, you over here trying to style me, Jazz? She gonna say, I know. Please don't be offended. I'm like, offended? It is always good to put another eye on what you got going on. And as a designer, you know that if you're not just an asshole and you're an actual designer or a stylist, it's always good to put another eye, because sometimes you stay in it too long and all you see is what your vision is. I put that hat on and she was like, oh yeah. And when I looked in that mirror, I was like, wow, I would have never thought to even, I just bought the hat because I thought the hat was cool. I didn't know what I was going to wear that hat with, but I was like, never thought about it. Not in a million years did I think I was going to put that hat on with what I had planned, because I had everything all planned out for that outfit. Everything all planned out. It just went right along with it. I was like, wow. So that was cool. But the 80s party was off the chain. I had a good time at that one. Good time. I had a good time at that very last party. I thought the very last, child Natalia bought all kind of stuff. All kinds of stuff. All kind of stuff. All kind of stuff. I come back, Natalia had a whole bag of stuff for me. Whole bag. And it's so funny because generally, I'm ready to tell this. Generally, when Natalia buys me things and gifts me things, it's usually stuff for me long. It's usually for my drag persona. But I be clocking her. She bought me all boy stuff. I guess she said, this is the realm that you in. I'm gonna let you be there. I had cool little baseball caps and t-shirts, and the folks here in town been loving my little stuff that I've been wearing, my busting out with my little Key West shirts and stuff. Natalia. So I'm trying to think what else. Oh, the pizza shop. So we went to the pizza. The pizza was one of the things I wanted to do, to try the pizza, because people always scream off this pizza. Because this stayed up until like 2:30 in the morning. And the pizza, it was good. It was like thin crust. It was good, but it wasn't, I don't want to say it wasn't what I expected. It wasn't what I had planned in my head. See, in my head, I wanted toppings. And it was kind of basic. They kept things basic. There was different, well, basic in their realm of basic. I mean, they had like multiple different kinds because they groovy like that. But I was thinking, grown people like shit on their pizza. Grown people I wanted mushrooms and sausage and pepperoni and load it up. Load it up. I can't stand just like pepperoni pizza. I don't want that. That's for kids' parties. That's kids' parties when you go to a place and they say, oh, we're having pizza, and it's cheese pizza or pepperoni pizza. I'm like, so this is for 5-year-olds, huh? Grown folks have peppers and black olives and stuff. That's what I had in mind. But I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. But I had it. The pizza was tasty. It was tasty. What else? We went to a Greek. There was a Greek little thing, like a Greek sampler situation. We had a good time at that. I didn't eat anything. It looked good, but I didn't eat anything because ended up Z came in late. And I think Natalia came in late. And I ended up giving what I ordered to Z. I was like, just here, take that. And it was fine. You could adjust it, Jay. See, yeah, there were some different things that you could have did, but it wasn't what I thought, says. I was like, where is the stuff? Like the banana peppers, where's that stuff? But it was cool. I ain't need all that pizza anyway. I had things going on. I had things I had to get into, and a whole bunch of pizza wasn't going to be my friend. So, come on now. So I was like, be sitting around eating a bunch of pizza and then come out looking like somebody's uncle. Anybody gets and I went, okay, so you didn't go to the Greek thing. So who was late? It was Z and Jazz. Jazz came late. That's who it was. It was Jazz. So yeah, it was Jazz and Z that came late. I'm trying to think. My drunk ass ate it, but I wasn't impressed. Child, did you, D? Did you have a good time on the ship, baby? What happened? You didn't like to lick the key lime. You didn't like the pizza. Well, what happened? You like the drinks. You like the drinks. Ain't say nothing about the drinks. There was so much. Look, my people had a whole and just silly stuff that I couldn't even plan. My people sat over there on deck 7, back at that door. I said, I keep ending up back here at this door. We sat on deck 7 and played the most intense. We played the most intense, shadiest goddamn game of Monopoly that I have ever been a part of. It was a hot mess. It was a hot mess. I didn't know between Hulk and Chet and I had to I cheated. I did. I cheated. I cheated. So what? My trip, my rules. I took and Hulk and Chet was battling so hard over this stuff that I just took and gave Juan Key all my money and properties so that Juan could win the game. They was over there trying to sell each other stuff and carrying on. And I said, hey, Juan, here, take these. They just looked at me. Here, Juan, take some more money. See, that's how you do it. They was too busy paying attention to each other. And they didn't know that the little boy over there with all the hair was sliding by, beating their ass. It was interesting. But that was the shadiest 2-hour game of Monopoly I have ever seen in my life. It was a mess. And then and we keep running. We doing shifts, running back and forth, getting ice cream from Lick Me Till I Scream. A mess. We had a good time. It was a good time. A good time was had. I had a good time. I really did. And there really is nothing that I would change. There's nothing I would change. There's a few things, like I said, that I missed that I will pick back up on when I get there in December. When I get there in December, I'll pick back up on there. And that's that. Okay, last thing I'm going to tell y'all before we go. And trust me, this all wraps it. Oh, go ahead. What's the next question? Okay, my next question about the balcony is the infamous hammock. I got a video over there. Shut up, Natalia. We had a whole moment about that hammock, me and Natalia. She filmed me getting into the hammock, child struggling to get in it and sitting in it wrong. And then the fact that it's swing, a whole mess. There actually is a whole video on Treasure Lane about me and my me versus the hammock, child. That hammock, I can see where that hammock gets people into trouble. I can see it. Where it gets people into trouble. Oh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. A hot mess. James, is the trip in May the same amount of days? Yes, Miss Ashley, it is the same exact itinerary. I kept everything exactly the same. The itinerary is exact. The only difference is we're going to be on the Scarlet Lady as opposed to being on the Resilient Lady. But the thing about their ships, they're all the same. The layouts are all the same. So literally, we are doing it again. Like we doing it like Richard Pryor and who was that? Richard Pryor and yeah, we'll just leave it. Richard Pryor. We didn't even mention that other person. Let's do it. Y'all remember Let's Do It Again? That movie? That's what we're doing. Let's do it again. I want to do it. Do it again. It's gonna be fun. So that's gonna be fun. Same thing. It's the same itinerary in December as well. So if you want to go before, if you don't want to wait till May, December is the same itinerary, but I'm going on the Valiant Lady in December. So pulling back in. So we leave the Bahamas. I go to the party. We fancy party 3:30 in the morning. I'm like, let me get down here and put my little stuff together so I can get on off this here ship in the morning. Now, I go, and my curtains weren't pulled all the way shut. They weren't pulled all the way shut. Not Sydney Portier. I'm fine with Sydney. Sydney, cool. That ain't who I was keeping unmentioned. Bird. Sydney is the man. Sydney Portier. Yeah, he's the man. My curtains weren't pulled all the way. So generally it's completely black out, it's whatever. We're supposed to dock at like 6:30. So it's about 3:30, 4. Well, we'll say about 4:30. 4:30 in the morning. Maybe 4:30, quarter to 5. Because I done came out of all that stuff and then got a shower and all that. And I'm looking and I see all this light and I said, wait a minute, what is all that light? And I said, am I giving a show? So I get something together and I go and I pull the little curtain and I look outside. So here, one of the things that we were talking about was that people don't realize how fast that those cruise ships actually move on the water. Big as they are, they kind of be moving. They move. And do you know we were already back in Miami? We were already home. Already. We were already home. And I've seen all these lights because we had pulled into port and parked next to another ship. When I opened the curtain a little bit so I could actually see, you'll never guess what ship was right there. And I was like, this is the full circle moment. This is the full circle moment when everything was fine. Everything was supposed to be. I'm fine to move on to the next part of my journey because my next part of my journey was, I kept saying, I really hope. That was my prayer for the trip. I hope I really like being on this ship because I got so many plans for other things that I would want to do. And there was definitely one on my bucket list that I definitely wanted to do. And we pull up next to MSC. I looked out that window and all I saw was the great big MSC sign. Big, bold, and beautiful. And all those bright lights just looked like goddamn new money. I said, well, there it is. There it is. I turned right back around. I said, okay. And I took that mental picture with me and I said, shoot, if I had my way, I'd go across the plank and get right on there and just keep going, right? Lord knows I still had clothes left. But anyway, I turn around and I go home. And not very long, guess what presented itself to me? MSC. I will be going on MSC November. In November, I will be cruising MSC. So I'm like, this is crazy. Like how everything just keeps just falling into place. It's just falling into place. And that's that. So I'm going to be going on MSC and have myself a good time. But yeah, my next group situation. My next group situation is definitely December the 10th through the 14th. I'll be going back on Virgin. And that is the beginning of my birthday celebration. That's the beginning. I'm doing 9 to the 9 to the 5 to the 5. Okay? Y'all remember that. 9 to the 9 to the 5 to the 5. December the 9th, things begin. Listen, Capricorn season don't start December 9th, but I'm hijacking some of them days. December the 9th through January the 9th, I'm celebrating my birthday. I will begin December the 9th. I will be flying out of here into Miami on December the 9th, and I will begin partying, and I will stop partying at 11:59. 11:59 on January the 9th. I will be 55 years old. So, like I said, 9 to the 9 to the 5 to the 5. I'll be sitting on 2 nickels come January the 9th, God willing. So that's it. That's how that's starting. That's where the December 10th through the 14th thing, I'm taking my butt back on Virgin so I could pick up where I left off and do the few things that I missed and do some of the things that I liked and just have myself a good old time down to the Virgin again. That's the beginning of my birthday celebration, but I am definitely going to mark that check off my bucket list of MSC on November. Yes, November. Anybody that's interested in going on MSC, I could definitely get you booked onto that sailing as well. If you want to sail with me on MSC in November, there are still beds available. You want to be on a waterbed on MSC with me? You can reach out to me and I can help you to get booked on there too, if you like. But my next group situation is December the 14th. But we could turn MSC into a group if you like. Listen, he's a travel professional now. I could turn MSC into a group excursion if you like. Just let me know. All right, y'all. So listen, that is it. Thank y'all for listening. Of course, there's more that there's more, but I ain't gonna tell all of it. Some things need to be left alone. It was good. It was good. It was very, very good. And I've kept y'all literally 2.5 hours, but I could definitely go on and on and on. Just the parties and it just kept getting better. Every day that I was on there, it just kept getting better. Oh, and I kept y'all this long. Any questions? Anybody got any questions? Any questions? I will answer questions. Go ahead. I'll answer questions. I'm running out. I ain't in no rush. I just didn't want to keep y'all too long because I done kept y'all a long time. But if y'all got any questions, let's go. Let's go. That's the whole point of being live. So we can interact. Any questions? Come on, Sassy. I know you got some more. Okay, my next question is about the balcony and the infamous hammock. Well, I told you what I could tell you about the hammock. I had a hard time getting in it, but I did get in it, and there's a video of me doing it. Yeah, but that's it. That's all I can tell you about that. I saw it, but I want to hear about your thoughts about seeing the water from that angle. Oh, that's different. Any fine men on the girl, please. What? Men and women. There's some of everything that was on that cruise. Some of everything. And absolutely, child, Miami was full of little cute little things and whatnot. There's cute men all over the place, Chantal. Men that was working there that ain't even allowed to talk to you. Child. And there was some fine women on there too. A lot of beautiful people all around. A lot of talented folks all around. You're surrounded, honey. Surrounded. That being on that hammock, that's when, like I said, that's the first time that I kind of felt like I wasn't in control of what was going on with me. That's the one time that I can actually feel that I was not in control of my being on the ship. I could feel the ship move and stuff. So that was cool. But I could see how people get in there and get all comfortable and fall asleep and carry on and all of that. Because they said, don't go up there and lay down because you'll be messed up. You'll be messed up. I don't know. Oh, I didn't talk about the pajama party, did I? Oh, I didn't talk about the pajama party was everything. That's the very first night. After you do the sail away part, as if that wasn't bad enough, because the sail away party was everything. Later on that night at like 11:30 is the pajama party. And that's what I hear a lot of people. I see that a lot with people's vlogs. A lot of people miss the pajama party because it's such a full day that they end up falling asleep. That's what they said. I've seen that in my travels, in my studies. Do not get in the hammock on day one because you will mess around and miss the pajama party. And I was like, no, I had a cute little pajama set. So I had two actually, but I chose the long night shirt and the little genie pants. It was cute. It was cute and blue and black. So I definitely wasn't missing that. And I'm so glad I didn't. That pajama party was everything. Really B left early. I said, really B, what is really going on? But she do me like that. When I come down to the DMV, really B will walk out and leave me in the club. She can't hang. She can't hang. Cannot hang. My cousin was a cruise director for years, but he passed. He loved it. Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah, I have ocean dreaming. I have one of my gay house children. His name is Martell. Martell was a dancer. He's a professional dancer, and he danced on cruise ships for years. That's why I'm like, I've been around the culture for a long time, and the stories and the pictures but I was like, I ain't getting on there. Not at all. But Martell has been all over the world. All over the world. He'd have been to so many countries and carrying on. Yeah, that's what he used to do for years. We all fell asleep and didn't make the pajama party. Oh, no. No. That pajama party is a vibe. Look, pajama party had some tasty peace. Listen. Yeah, the pajama party was all right. It was all right. And yes, I will leave you at the club and go home. Yeah, like who does that? She left me on the ship too. She left me at the sail away party. She left me at the pajama party. Only place she didn't leave me was on the beach. Everywhere else she left. I'm going on my first MSC cruise in November as well. Can't wait. Listen, I cannot wait. I can't wait to see these crystal floors or crystal stairs. I can't wait. And I can't wait to do their all white party. I cannot wait. Because they do an all white party on MSC. Can't wait. Now, I don't even know exactly what I'm wearing for the all white party. I got an idea, but I don't know exactly what I'm wearing. And I just bought a pair of red shoes for Scarlet Night for December. I ran into these real cute red shoes. I just bought those. Last time I had, let me give y'all this little tea. Listen. So I thought I was real cute, right? I thought I was real cute with these little sandals that I had for the Scarlet Night for this cruise. These little Stacey Adams sandals, little two-strap, little situation. They cute. They real cute. And they Stacey Adams. Stacey need his whole behind whooped. They were the most uncomfortable sandals that I think I actually own. I said, what is going on with these doggone set? And they look comfortable. Like they really look comfortable and everything. I'm so glad my pants were like so flared and all that. And then, you know what? Let me take some of the pressure off of Stacey. Because I had a few drinks. But there was multiple times that I like walked out the sandal. These sandals was giving me the blues. Only ones the whole time I was there, I was like, this is wearing my nerve. Those sandals were wearing me out. I was like, and I got other Stacey Adams shoes, never an issue. But them, I don't know. But you know whose shoes be giving me the blues? Is Steve Madden. Steve Madden's shoes, I don't know. It always seemed like one shoe don't be just right. Like it's like something, there's always one shoe that just ain't right. Something be going on. I'm not communicating clearly about my balcony question. The first time you go on the balcony, was it overwhelming or odd feeling? Oh, well, here's the thing, Sass. Strangely enough, I don't do balconies. But for whatever reason, I was comfortable on the balcony on the ship. My mom, where my mom lives, My mom's apartment has a balcony. You couldn't pay me to get on there. You could not pay me to walk out of that sliding glass door and stand on that balcony where my mother lives. You could not pay me. But I was so comfortable because I did there's other videos where I just sat out there, and the day that I got off at Key West, I did a video because I had on the crocheted outfit, and I was just sitting on the balcony just talking to you all. I was totally comfortable, and I can't even explain that. I can't even explain that. Totally comfortable out there on that balcony. I was totally comfortable when I went on Yocrates' balcony, because his is big. Because I got down there and laid out on the he had those reclining chairs on his, because he's a rock star. He had 2 reclining chairs on his balcony. I was out there laying on that, clowning and grinning and taking pictures and carrying on. I was totally comfortable on there. So, James, what are you saying is you wouldn't go skydiving? But no, baby, I don't jump off of shit. No. See, again, that's a Jamesism. I don't jump off of shit. When I went to Vegas, I held everybody's purse when they went. What is that zip lining? I don't play them kind of games. But here's the flip side of it. I'll ride any roller coaster you put in front of me. I ain't never seen a roller coaster that I won't ride. Love them. Absolutely love them. But I don't jump off of shit. I don't do that. No, ma'am. No, sir. Ship balconies give me a whole nother respect for the ocean. Yeah, I loved my time on the balcony. And I can't imagine that I'll ever cruise without a balcony. Because at my MSC, I got a balcony. I can't imagine that I'll ever cruise without it. I was on there every day. Even me and because me and Natalia, when Natalia came up to my room to visit, we sat out on the balcony. She came because she went out there one day. She came back up there. I was doing something, getting dressed, because Natalia be up and moving. Natalia called me, I think 7:30 a.m. every morning. I think it was like 7:30. Powerful and Natalia were like the first to rise. They were doing their thing. And Natalia called me about 7:30 a.m. every day. And I was like, girl, I just got here at 4, honey. But I would get on up and get myself together and be making my way. And because the truth of the matter is I could sleep when I got home. I sleep when I got home. Yeah, but yeah, that Natalia, here goes Natalia. Natalia be up and out. She definitely, when I say my sister explored the ship, this was her first cruise. And I could definitely say, if there was something to see on the ship, Natalia seen it. Natalia explored the ship. She went off. I was happy she was so comfortable because she went off by herself and I ain't know where she was. Say I'm from the Caribbean. We get up with the chicken. I can attest to that because yes, this thing, you was waking me up. Like she said, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What do you think I'm doing?" And that was the other thing. My television, you got a whole big old nice old TV hanging on the wall. My television, when I first came in, I did my mustard drill safety video on television. I never turned that television on again. The whole time I was there, it never was turned on again. I laugh when people say, "Oh, I watched a movie," and I don't know what movie they had playing. I don't know what video anybody was playing on YouTube or not. When I say I was out there living for the moment, I ain't looked at no damn TV. I said I watch Netflix when I go home. I got it. I got Netflix. I watch when I go home. I ain't turned that TV on, not at all. But there was tons of stuff to do. Tons of stuff to do. And it just was like, I see what people kept saying, James, that's not long enough. I think it's perfect for somebody that's never cruised before. I think it's perfect for somebody that might have some fears and different things like that. I think it's perfect for that. but I could definitely see why 7-day cruises are attractive and things like that. Because I was like, shoot, I'm just getting started. So I done been to one island. I'm ready to go on and hit it to somewhere else. Hey, newbie. I'm like, shoot, I could go some more. I told you, I could have just got on over there and went on MSC and just kept on moving. Me and my sister have a ritual of going to sleep to a movie. That's probably what would happen though, Sass, if I actually had tried to watch a movie or something. I probably would have fell asleep because I was constantly going, and you don't even realize how much walking you're doing. Those ships are huge. Ships are huge. They're huge. Exactly 5 days. I may do it to meet you a bit. Like 10 to 12 day journeys. I've seen many. I've seen many. Yeah, I'll be on Royal Caribbean. I'll be on Royal Caribbean in February. My girl, Really Be TV is hosting a Royal Caribbean trip that is themed. It's the Tribe Bowl. She went last year, she did it, and she is actually hosting again for the Super Bowl. She's taking a group over to Haiti. So we're going to Haiti on Royal Caribbean, and I will be on that in February. Y'all can actually go to her. Really, if you're still here, you could post your link to your page so they can get it. Um, it'll take you to her. If she's here, she'll drop the link to take you over to her channel, um, to her community wall, and get the information if you would like to do that. That's in February of 2027. The people who was helping us on the rooms were nice. Oh yes, oh child, absolutely. Yo Yo, that was my guy's name, was Yo Yo. I actually met Yo Yo. I have video of that when I was coming to my room. Yo Yo was coming out, and he stopped everything he was doing. He dropped what he was doing, and he turned around and boom, just came back in and went through everything with me. He was like, "Oh, this is your first cruise? Okay." He went through everything with me. He didn't even have to do that. I said, "Yeah, I got to take care of Yo Yo, leave Yo Yo a nice little, you know." He was really, really nice. I've done everything from a 3-day to a 10-day. I know that's right. After watching the fellas arriving for the WC, I'm going to the Congo. Baby, they were clean. What they clean? They were clean. I said, okay, all righty. Cruising is a great way to see the world, multiple countries at a time. Right. I did. Yes. Right. I've seen that. I've definitely seen that. And I was like, interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. But I'm just glad that I actually liked it. So I can knock some of these things off this bucket list. That MSC, I am so excited about MSC. I don't know what to do with myself. But I can't wait to get up on there, baby. I told you, white party, and the staircase. If I don't do nothing else, ain't that crazy? It don't matter what else is going on, and there's tons of stuff going on MSC. When I went to do through the training and stuff for MSC, tons of stuff on MSC to see. But it's about me and them stairs, and that white party. Yeah, yeah, it's going down. But Virgin, I don't know if I'll ever be able to shake Virgin. I'm probably going to be stuck. I'm probably stuck with Virgin. I dig Virgin. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. Everything, the way that everything played out, the way they handled things, all the way down to the training I did for Virgin to become a first mate. And all. Virgin is cold blooded. Virgin's cold blooded. They are. So, yeah. You say Virgin's for the cool kids. Absolutely. There she go. There's the information for the Tribe Bowl, you guys. So that is what Really Be TV, and that's going to be in February. I think isn't the Super Bowl, isn't that Valentine's Day weekend? Valentine's Day. Sound like a nice gift and a getaway to me. Ain't nothing like no kids, all inclusive vacation. Listen, I don't know how I'm gonna do, but all these water parks. That's the thing with Royal Caribbean. They are like, when it comes to kids, oh my gosh, I'm actually going through the training with Royal Caribbean right now. Royal Caribbean, their ships are something serious as far as activities for young people. Serious. I'm like, wow. Like I mean, the more every module and things that I'm going through, I'm like, wow, they got the kids covered. Them and Disney. Just say Disney, Mr. Walt, say no more. Say no more. And that's the thing, truly, that you found. There is a child that is inside of all of us. And Mr. Walt Disney, he knew exactly what he was doing. And that brand, he stands on that. There's nobody of any age that cannot enjoy a Disney vacation. It's brilliant. Completely brilliant. So, yeah. All right. Any more questions? We got about 10 minutes and I'm going to wrap this up. Any more questions? Any more comments? Anybody want to tell me something? Anybody want to give me a suggestion? You can always come back into the video. You know, I'll read my comments and stuff. If something comes up, you think of something, a question or a comment, you could come back to this video and leave a comment and I'll get it. Or you can go and hit me up and get me anything travel wise or vacation wise. Go to treasuretravel@yahoo.com. Anything video wise, you could definitely go to spilletboy@gmail.com as well. So any like video questions or anything like that, because I know y'all have some questions about some other things that I do, you can go to spilletboy@gmail. But yeah, so I had a good time. No drama. Natalia was the drama. Natalia was the drama. Natalia was the thing that made my heart drop. Her and chatting his lies. I said it was a full rounded trip. I had somebody lying. I had somebody show up. All that was full rounded. Full rounded trip. Did you ever see my comment telling you to get the Golden Horizon at the Dock House? Right. And listen, I got to do that this time too, Sass, because that is also, you're not the first one that says that. Lynette and Stanley, that is their thing. They always do a Golden Horizon because Lynette is bad on Virgin too. Oh, Miss Lynette. My girlfriend Lynette is part of the top 100 on Virgin. Catch those teas. I told you, Lynette and Stanley are like a black ace of spade in my pocket. The baby mentor wise, I'm good. I'm good. But they always talk about a Golden Horizon. Yep. So I will definitely do that in December. Sass, definitely do that, and we will talk about it. As the kid whisperer, I love a good youth-based trip. However, if I'm not vacationing with mine, I don't want to see yours. Oh my gosh. Well, they had plenty of spaces. Now, because there's actually a guy, can't think of his name, but there's a guy on YouTube who actually does nothing but Disney. Like he does Disney cruises. That's what he does. You never see children in his video. Him and his wife be having the time of their life and be getting just and eating their delicious delectables and carrying on and having a good time on the Disney cruise. I think he's sailed. I think there was, the last time I was watching him, I think there was only 2 of the ships that he had not sailed. But yeah, he always says that like it doesn't matter what age you are, you'll be able to see him. And I never see kids in his video. Never see them. Natalia had a girl. Natalia was wearing me out. I had my blood pressure high. This has been a pleasure. Thanks so much. Absolutely, Sass. Thank you for watching. Really B, y'all can thank Really B because Really B was after me. I told her, I said, I haven't done a sit down and literally talked about the cruise. I posted things, but I haven't sat down. She said, yeah, you might want to get on that. I said, oh, not the mentee becoming the mentor. So I said, anytime your protege start telling you things like that, I think you need to get your shit in order. Now, she sure threw shade at me. I said, oh, yeah, I think you might want to. I said, okay, all right. Sometimes she thinks she's as tall as me, but she's not. She's not. I told y'all she's 3 feet. She better quit it before I go get Mother Nature after her again, honey. All right, you guys. Listen, this has been wonderful. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Say don't make no damn sense. So, listen, more to come. More to come. I got a whole lot that I got my hands and feet into. So just keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. I'll be a little bit of everywhere, doing a little bit of everything. Not all cruising, not all traveling. I just got stuff coming. Stuff. So keep your eyes on me. And remember, 9 to the 9 to the 5 to the 5. December 9th, all hell is about to break loose. All right, y'all. I will see y'all around. Bye, y'all.